Maybe you were wondering tonight that we were not going to do the show tonight. Maybe we were just going to take the night off. Maybe we were just going to go, I don't know, get ready for a work week. Maybe watch the rest of the Commanders and the Buccaneers. Maybe just, I don't know, do something else. Not so fast here. Not so fast on Sportswire Radio, the platform that you helped build, the platform where you got Rhino to come in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And judging by the reaction, you definitely want more. Well, you know what? You got more tonight because you got a man that has helped build this platform, a man that is always a lightning rod, a man that was quite the topic last night on Sportswire Radio. No, it wasn't about his match in the IMF with Justin Parsley and Soldier GP. No, it's not about what's going on in ROEW. It was about this man who's called a nemesis, maybe returning to promo wrestling. Boy, I'll talk about that. We'll most certainly address ROEW and how did maybe Natural Selection feel about James Taylor naturally selecting to go to Iowa and not Michigan to wrestle? Oh boy, you just wait. Here we go. Controversy. And what about Justin Parsley and James Taylor? Did I hear last night that our guest slipped in? He wanted a PWF World Championship shot. What about all these promo wrestlers that were here? I saw J-Rod here. I saw Rocky, Lyra, Limber, people in the chat. They were wanting James Taylor. And maybe I'll even bring up a wedding invitational. I'll have an announcement for a guest. I'll have somebody in here who maybe is going to change the face of Sportswire Radio as we know it. Boy, there is so much here to get into. And, just when you thought maybe we had nothing to talk about tonight, just when you thought maybe, you know what? Like I said, we're going to take the night off. Maybe after interviewing Rhino, maybe I was going to retire. Maybe even after Zilla coming on the video on Sportswire Radio, maybe there was just nothing left to discuss. No, never. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time to give our guest that introduction. The introduction on the platform that he most certainly helped build to nearly 1,370 subscribers. Some would say we're closing the weekend. No, we're just starting the weekend here on Sportswire Radio. We are going to certainly cowabunga here with this introduction on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. So, with that, without further ado, here on the Sports About number one global sports show. A man with nearly 140,000 followers. A man that is multiple times a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. A man that is a certified legend. A man that is arguably the greatest owner in backyard and underground wrestling history. His name is simply put, the Moses My friend, how are we doing?
I'm doing excellent, Tom. Thank you for having me once again. Hell of an introduction. I really appreciate that. How are you?
Ask me after we're done with the interview, when I'm gonna obviously try to recover my voice for tomorrow's show, which will be pretty big. I think. Well, they're all big shows at this point. I mean, after all, Rhino is here, so every show should be just as big. But obviously, a lot to get to here tonight with you, James Taylor. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, promo wrestling, maybe that's next. Certainly, where you were in Iowa a few weeks ago, that's a topic on people's minds. What about ROEW and maybe even a TikTok ban? That's obviously something that's near and dear to your heart. So I guess let's start off, though, maybe for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and Rhino most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. How did it feel to be back in the ring, though, in the Palo Community Center in the historic IMF 1-year anniversary of being in indoor venues at Winter Clash, where you wrestled Justin Parsley, Soldier GP? Soldier GP, you and him 2 years in the making nearly for that PWF World Heavyweight Championship. How did it feel to be back in the ring in IMF?
Well, it felt great. I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, I went down to the Palo Community Center down there in Iowa, and I stepped through the doors of IMF. I
Yes, you
was
did.
welcomed in, and I was humbled to be there, and I really appreciate and respect the fact that I got to show up and prove everybody wrong, because I guess I made the new catchphrase that everybody wants to talk about, and now everybody's really believing that it's true, and that is the three famous words, and that's never say never. And you know what?
Yeah.
I say that for a reason, because that is a preach that I've heard for years in this business. And I've always said that, and I've always believed in that. And I guess because I actually made it come to fruition and made it come true. And now I got guys making t-shirts about it. I got guys on the back burner talking like, well, I mean, if James can never say never, I guess I can. Well, never say never in this business, because you never know. Until I actually decide that I'm done, I'm going to continue to do. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 or 3 matches a year. When I show up, it matters. And that's exactly what happened. I went to IMF. I came out on the short stick. First, I had to go through Felix Jones. I
Big
beat his
win,
little
though. Big win
ass.
against Felix Jones. That was not a layup, as I said correctly. Felix Jones is, I think he's the future. He's arrived, as a matter of fact.
He's tough. He's a tough kid. He worked my leg during that match, if you saw.
I
And
did.
that carried
I was
over.
actually watching it live. I was one of the people that was in the stream watching it, actually.
Awesome. He worked my leg for most of that match, and it carried over into that triple threat. And I had a big turnout as to the reason why I didn't come up with the victory. But that's beside the point. The main goal for me was to get to that triple threat match, to prove to the world that I got what it takes to be in this business, and that I got what it takes to stand toe to toe with somebody like Soldier GP and Justin Parsley. And I got right in his face, and that big bastard pushed me with his little dreadlocks, and I pushed his smelly ass
How
right
was the
back.
dreadlocks? How did you like seeing the dreadlocks up close?
Didn't impress me. Didn't impress
Really?
me
Why
one bit.
not? I mean, I would think having dreadlocks is a pretty difficult
It,
thing
it
to do,
it's
objectively speaking.
it smelled like 3-day old cat litter, but I mean it is what it is, you know.
I literally ate like an hour ago and just woke up after being in of course my home communities in Brooklyn all day. So I'm gonna forget you just said that.
Okay, no problem. But nonetheless, I went out there and I backed up every word I said. I didn't say if I'd win or not. All I said was I'm going to get in that ring and I'm going to beat the hell out of Soldier GP, and that's exactly what I did. I did that,
But there
and
was another component to that match, though.
there was, and no pun intended to myself, but an old nemesis of mine, Anthony Steele, decided to step his sorry ass into that ring. And I really truly believe, and I think the world can agree, that if it wasn't for him, 1, 2, 3, you'd be looking at the new champion, the PWF part
A title
ownership
that's
right
been
there.
eluding you in different forms over these past, I guess, 18 or 19 months. It's a title that has eluded you, and different names that have basically come and go, and the very biggest names in our circuit and who helped build this platform have all been almost the reason why you haven't held that championship.
There's three separate times that I've come this close to winning, and something got in the way from keeping that 1, 2, 3 from happening.
You're the Buffalo
And
Bills of the PWF Championship.
apparently, I guess so.
Yeah, they lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls for the audience that may not know that. They're the only team in history to have gotten not only to 3 straight Super Bowls, to 4 straight Super Bowls, but lost all of them. So maybe the 4th time's a try.
I told I wasn't there really for the championship. I really just
Mm.
wanted to come in there and put my fist right in Soldier's face, and that's exactly what I did. The championship was just going to be a bonus for me, and I would have took
Hmm.
that right back to ROEW with me, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. But that's beside the point. I put my foot right in Soldier's ass. I stunned the shit out of Justin Parsley, and the rest is history. Now, if that ever happens again, who's to say? We don't know. Whatever it happens, it happens. But I can guarantee you, the next time I step foot in the ring one on one with either Justin Parsley or Soldier GP, I'm gonna beat the hell out of them and beat them 1, 2, 3.
We're going to talk about that. I'm going to put the match up. Certainly, we'll get into some of that. But I did want to ask you something. Was this the first time you've been to Iowa?
Definitely, first
So,
time.
what
Didn't
did you
really
think
give
of
a damn
Iowa?
about it. It kind of bothered me. It was kind of depressing to be in Iowa. I don't know how anybody
Why?
can
Why
live
were you
there.
depressed? We have a lot of fans in Iowa out there. Why?
It,
Why
it,
say
it
you were
was
depressed?
it was depressing to live there in Iowa, and
Why? That's. I mean, we have IMF fans that are going to be here on Thursday. Why would you say it would be depressing to live in Iowa?
I'm kidding
I
you. I learned that the Quaker oatmeal comes from Iowa, from Cedar
really
Rapids, and
okay. That's pretty cool.
that's an interesting thing. There, I saw the
Yeah,
site there.
I didn't know that, but I didn't eat really oatmeal growing up. It was kind of because I was always like late going to school, so I was like trying to save every minute I could of sleep. So you weren't getting me to eat oatmeal, but that's fascinating. Quaker oats comes from Iowa. That's pretty cool.
Cedar Rapids, Iowa, actually.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it was really calm. Iowa is probably the safest state in the United States. One of the safest states.
Oh, I definitely know New York is not one of the safest ones. Living in
Oh,
New
of
York
course not.
City, trust me on that. I figured that's really fascinating. Iowa, one of the safe. So would you go? What'd you think? Did you mean you got a chance to sightsee? Did you get a chance to do
Sightseeing a
anything?
little bit.
You did.
One thing that I loved was the road trip going there and the road trip going back. I got to go through St. Louis, Missouri, and the
Okay.
home
The
of Randy
Archway,
Orton.
St. Louis, the Archway.
Yeah, that archway was there. Got some footage of that. I'll be showing
That's
that
pretty cool.
probably in the next couple of weeks through a little vlog that I made of myself, by the way.
That's nice.
Um, but yeah, seeing St. Louis was really cool for me. I didn't mind Cedar Rapids. I'm just messing around earlier. Iowa was really calm. It was a really good place where we were staying.
Hmm.
But that Palo Community Center, it just smelled like shit when I walked in. So
No, really? I mean, we have IMF people in the chat. Really, that can't be
now
true.
a lot of the IMF guys are real respectable. That El Drago, that's a hell of a
Oh,
cat
he's
right
here. By the
there.
way,
I
he's
like
in your
him.
chair. He's in your chair next Sunday night.
Will you tell him that James Taylor said hi if he's here? Mr. Drago, my hat's off to you. That's a hell of a guy right there. I liked watching him. Just a few of those guys, they got what it takes to be in this business. I believe they're probably the future of underground backyard wrestling, maybe indie wrestling. Who knows? I'm not gonna sit here and blow a bunch of smoke up their ass, but I'm just saying, laying out facts. Probably one of the most professional, and I'm saying this as true as I can. Any locker room I've been in the past 24 months, this has been the chillest, nicest, and most
Really? Because
respectable
you've been in
locker
a
room
few. You've been in a
that I've
couple
been in.
locker rooms. You've been in a couple in the last 24 months. And this
Yeah.
locker room was
Other
professional.
other than Soldier GP and Anthony, yes, it was the most respectable, calmest, and very welcoming locker room I've ever been a part of. So
Wow.
that's all I'm gonna say right there. So I enjoyed it. So
Well, you know what? I'm going to actually give you proof of that, James, because I know a lot of people are here. And I want to give a big shout out to Comatose, who just shared our link on Instagram. And Comatose has a brand new podcast. And you got to check. I'm going to put that up in a little while. And also, Comatose is here next Thursday night. And I'm very excited to have Comatose back because apparently he is now in a ring, and he is actually certainly had a war of words with a man that I think is a part of your company still, in Aaron Blaze. So I'm sure Comatose will have a lot to say about that. Another guy kind of like an Anthony Steele that, some people love and some people don't. I mean, there's just, I'm sure in Iowa they're not big Aaron Blaze fans, but maybe they have their reasons. I don't know. I like Aaron Blaze. Comatose may not like Aaron Blaze, but in the meantime, I won't worry about Aaron Blaze. I'm worried about you, James Taylor, because I actually want to put something up here. Why is this important? Well, it's going to be because maybe we're going to see you pop up here magically soon.
Yeah, this
That's
was
not
when I
quite.
popped up.
That's not quite. And shout out to Prince Achia, the new Midwestern States champion, but also a happy man. His Baltimore Ravens won yesterday. But we'll see him Thursday. And yes, that is Anthony Steele, who will be here Thursday. He'll be here. He'll have a lot to say. I have no doubt about that. But we are waiting for an arrival of someone that's proof that you actually did show up, even though we know the match already. But must be nervous, right? Nervous about showing up here on screen?
Wasn't it before this when we both came in at the same time?
Well, I have it here. You're coming in. I have it here. You're coming in here shortly.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was when I was there talking to him. Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean,
that was a fun day.
It was fun. Well, you know what? It's fun. It's fun seeing this. I mean, we're about to see it very soon, and Jovi's definitely got it going on. And there's Ox McCoy. Shout out to Ox McCoy, by the way, who did a nice video for me. He basically used one thing about Justin Parsley smoking a cigarette, and we do kind of compare it to Mean Gene Okerlund reference here. All right, but let's get to the video here. We're gonna wait for it here. And there's Mr. Brightside. What did you think about Mr. Brightside, by the way?
Reeked of tobacco, but very humble. Very nice guy.
That I don't know if he'd appreciate. Maybe he's probably sleeping right now.
He's probably sleeping right now, but definitely interesting talent. Good guy. He was nice to me, respectable, and he gave me some screen time right here on the one and only Jovi's vlog, who definitely has it going on.
Well, we definitely we'll do that here, but I do want to get to you actually. Wait a minute, no, that can't be. It can't be. That can't be. Is that you?
No, that's my twin.
No.
Yep, good old James Taylor. There he is. Just having a conversation with Sean Jovi.
Well, really, what was the conversation about? Actually, I know about it. It's on the vlog here, but it's good here. You're enjoying yourself quite a bit.
Well, I mean, he was welcoming me there, and he said that he enjoyed watching my match with Felix, which, of course, some people saw. And then, of course, he was getting ready for the main show because he had a big-time matchup with Anthony Steele, a 3 Doors Down match, which was a hell of a match, by the way. And, of course, there's the kid himself right there, and he's always got to try and steal my spotlight. But he knows he can't.
Yeah, he always wants to steal your spotlight, right?
I was the talk for IMF that day. He wasn't. He couldn't stand it.
Why do you think that was the case?
Because I showed up, and it's, I guess, because I finally showed up, right? But I came in there ready to go to work, ready to entertain and do what I do best, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, it was good to see you. You guys have now been in 3 promotions together.
Technically,
2 of them were not mentioned.
True.
3 of them. That's really interesting in the circuit here. You guys have been in. I don't know if there's anybody that has done that. They've been in 3 different circuits together.
That is a good question.
That's an interesting trivia question here. I know Comatose knows a lot about the scene. I know there's different people like Kyle Shelby who've been around. Somebody, I'm sure, Zilla knows everything. I mean, so I would have to think that somebody would know that out there.
And maybe, who knows? See, I was unimpressed with what he was doing there, but Comatose, maybe he needs to come over to the Midwest, or maybe he needs to come to the South. Dip his toes down around here.
Well, you talked about stealing spotlights. Well, he did want to come in for a few minutes, because we have a lot.
Damn!
I wanted to give him a few minutes. He said he's got to go to work, and he did.
You know it's always a good time when you see me, right? You
I
already
think
know.
Come on here and talk to you because you're not in the IMF, so he's not going to talk about House of Wolves.
So So,
Three
hey, look.
promotions. 3 promotions, man. What do you think about that?
Exactly.
That's a great question.
Hey, so I'm gonna answer that with a question.
Yes.
They see us in a third promotion, but when are they going to see a third match, one-on-one match, in said third promotion?
That's a great question. I don't know. Well, actually, I've got an idea. Anthony, that's a great point that you just made, right? You want another match, right, with James, right? Another opportunity.
Because I did retain this.
But no, not so fast. Believe it or not, there could be a way for this to be solved. And it doesn't involve you guys actually being in the ring. Now, Anthony, it's my understanding, right? We're on the Texas Promo Wrestling roster officially.
Contracts have not been finalized. They don't want to pay me the amount that I told them I'm worth. So we're still negotiating contracts.
Negotiating, right? So you are negotiating, though, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Negotiating.
100%.
So what I was thinking, since there was a question thrown out there by others in the chat, Lyra Limber was here yesterday, Rocky was here, J-Rod was here, and they were trying to talk to James Taylor about coming back to promo wrestling. Maybe if things
James don't want that. Because
wait, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Let me tell you something, because you don't know this. You don't know this.
I don't know.
The last time James Taylor stepped in a promo ring was against me. And I'm not talking about his little 2K league. I'm talking about
actual. Hey, I own that. We're live on that right now, by the way. We are live on that right now.
I'm talking about real promoing. James lost to me. I was supposed to be the guy that he could never lose to because I was the rookie, right, James? I was the rookie. And you were so deep into this shit that you could smell your own goddamn fucking shit.
Well, we don't want that.
I beat you. And you left. You tucked your tail in between your legs and went back to fucking making crappy Stone Cold videos.
Hey, he's got 140,000 followers nearly.
So James, no offense. The promo, it's not, and I know you can agree with this. The promoing world is not where it needs to happen. Anthony Steele versus James Taylor one-on-one for the third time needs to happen inside the doors of IMF.
But why not promo wrestling? Rocky talked about you were a part of promo wrestling.
Because at that point, we basically do that every time we step on this platform. But him talk our shit back and forth. It's the same thing.
But TPW and RPW seem like they would love to have you back.
James wants to get his hands on me, and I want to get my hands on James. So the only way this is going to end is inside of a ring.
Well, that's a great question. I don't know.
The physicality needs to be there. That's
100%.
And Xavier Thorne, by the way, wants you too, Anthony Steele. Xavier Thorne.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, Xavier Thorne's in the house. And
Where?
Would you want him in IMF?
Fuck no.
Why
Hell
not?
No. Hell no. The doors have been closed for him. Fuck no. Dude,
well, that's up to the owner of the IMF.
I don't know. He's kind of like in the same he's in the same wavelength of Silver Wolf and Joe Loose Cannon.
No, well, he's not in that level in terms of
that motherfucker sucks.
He doesn't do bad things in life. He's a good man. He's a good man.
Oh, he's got a hell of a Claymore.
James, don't boost this man's fucking ego.
You know what? We thank Mr. Thorne for tuning in, and if you want to watch more of Sean Jovi's historic vlog,
it's okay. He can tune in all the fuck he wants, but he ain't getting no views.
It's real. He just proved you wrong.
Where?
That's what he said. I'm not saying I don't know.
Proof. Dude, last thing I knew, you were wrestling your ex-wife on the playground.
Well, we're not going to talk about people's personal lives.
He went down to that GWC or whatever it's called in Georgia with
That was Copper Dragon.
Yeah,
that was years ago.
No,
he's got his own league now. It's the Real Wrestling League, and they're on the playground.
That's funny. That's funny. Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Thorne, who created that logo? Oh yeah, you're looking at the fucking dude that created that logo. calm the fuck down.
All right, so Anthony, so you want another match with James because we're going to talk about some different things. You're in the house
I
Thursday.
do.
You want.
I want another match. See, look, I'm at that stage where it's show respect, or if you don't want to show respect, then I'll beat.
But this
the
is your
dog shit out
elder,
of
though.
you.
James is your elder. Don't you
So
respect your
James,
elder?
I'm gonna give you respect, and this is the first time you're gonna hear this. James has to be my favorite rivalry I've ever done in my career.
It's the most well-known.
And I'll say because like I've had some great rivalries.
You have.
me versus Foxy Boy. The 8-8. We're 8-8. And
How
in
about you
4
and Jovi
years.
recently? How about you and Jovi recently? These last.
That's not a rivalry. That's me just beating his ass 2 times in 1 year.
Jovi's been fighting.
Come on, man.
But you gotta also worry about another rivalry recently that's been coming up here is Mr. Brightside.
That ain't a rivalry. That's a joke.
You haven't stepped foot in the ring with him yet, officially.
Not till Saturday.
Well, we'll find out. We're gonna see. We're all in the house together Thursday.
But James, you gotta admit, I'm your best rivalry. I'm the one that keeps it intriguing. I'm the one that keeps it going. And it's long overdue, man. You know, dude, I'll admit it. I hate it that the last time me and you met in a squared circle, it had to be in a triple threat and then in a rumble. You know, because we could have ran it back one more time, 1-on-1. We didn't need Gabe Sayers, person that shall not be named. Redacted.
What's wrong with Gabe? He's a good man.
No, I'm not talking about Gabe. I'm talking about redacted. Redacted. Starts RB. He sounds like a button on a fucking PlayStation controller.
I'm gonna leave that at that, but I did want to give Comatose a nice.
He had to grab someone else, James. You know, because he knew he couldn't have me and you 1-on-1 because it's still the whole fucking show.
I mean, so I agree with you. He knows for a fact that would have stole the show. That would have been the show.
Exactly.
The rest of it would have been boring.
So the thing is we need it. We need it, James. One more time. 1-on-1. What do you say, old man?
I mean, you already know the answer to it. I mean,
can you lace up your Nikes one more time?
I don't think James wears Nikes in the ring. You do.
If it's
did you not just watch his match? Did you not watch his match?
Well,
he was wearing Nikes. He was wearing.
Nikes get me
Jordans. He doesn't wear Jordans.
He don't wear Jordans.
I don't have to.
But he wears Nike. Hey, I like wearing Jordans.
No, well, you're unique. You're a unique Anthony.
Which, for all my sneakerheads out there, the new Jordan 3 Black Cats just dropped last night, and your boy's copping a pair.
I'm going to be very kind and not bring up Xavier Thorne's comments here. But do follow the IMF and Comatose's page, because Comatose just had a really good podcast where he talked about a name that I know may or may not have much affinity for, Aaron Blaze, Anthony. So Comatose said his piece on Aaron Blaze, and I'm sure you'll do something similar one day. But go follow Comatose and follow the IMF. But we'll leave Mr. Thorne out for now. But we thank you.
Hey, look, hey, you can leave him out, but I ain't. Hey, you want to talk about smell, homeboy? You smell like fucking Fremunda cheese and a fucking fucked up, busted up drive-through. Calm the fuck down, boy. Well,
we don't.
Hey, look. I thought it was all people from Alabama smelled weird, but at least James knows how to take a shower. So calm down, Bucko. But James, I know I said I came on here to talk a little shit.
Yes, because we got some topics.
And you.
4 minutes.
I at this point I'm kind of like Joe Hendry. You say my name and I'm gonna appear.
By the way, Joe Hendry, did you see that he tag teamed with the man that came on here Friday, Rhino?
Yes, Rhino. Let's go.
I know.
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm excited that Sportswire is getting the attraction that it deserves.
And tomorrow we have Stud Bronson, who's wrestling Savio Vega in 12 days as of Monday. So there you
Period.
go.
Period. But James, you had a bad experience because you saw me. You had a small, tiny bad experience.
The fact that I was in a match to deal out these homemade knuckle sandwiches on two punks from the north, and you found a way to weasel your way into the match. And why me? Why was I the target? Why did you have to put your grubby little hand around my neck?
My hands ain't little.
Nothing happened, but
my hands ain't little.
You still interfered. Why couldn't you wait till after I kicked their ass, took that title, and went back to Alabama?
Because I had to prove something, and you were just my example.
So you went after me?
Yeah, this is basically what I just said, motherfucker.
Why?
English, do you speak it?
I mean, unfortunate for you, you got a super kick from Justin Parsley, and then Parsley was on the receiving end of
a super kick. Yeah, but he also got a super kick also from me.
Well, he's got his own problems, Mr. Parsley. He's got more problems than more money, more problems. Without the
look, all I'm saying is he's lucky that I'm not in that 4v4. Because
I'll tell you what, you'll probably see him on Thursday stream.
I'd kick his face in again.
Well, you definitely you do. You know how to do these things, Anthony.
But James, come on, man. You really I said it. I said it for weeks. I said it for months. I said it for years. You really think that James Taylor in the same building, same arena, same ring as Anthony Steele, and Anthony Steele's not going to go after James Taylor? That's like the Big Show from 2005 seeing a fucking bag of hamburgers and not digging his fucking hands into it.
Well, obviously, I think there's no question you guys have a rivalry that's up there with Cena and Orton, Cena and Edge, certainly, Austin and Rock in our circuit, and there's no question that there is unfinished business.
I mean, it's like Kyle Shelby trying to talk shit to people about getting trained when he's not even trained his fucking self. So, I'm a troll. I'm trolling tonight.
I understand. We're gonna leave that at that because we're gonna have you on for a few more minutes.
But James, listen, man. I like you. You're a good kid. You got a heart for this business, just like me. I can see me in you, kid. And you gotta learn that it's a never say never, lifestyle right now. Never say never, kid. One day it will happen where James Taylor and Anthony Steele go one-on-one for a third time. And I like your style. I like your attitude. I like the way you go about the business. But you gotta give it a little bit more oomph. I need to feel that you want this, James. I need to feel that you want James Taylor versus Anthony Steele 3 one-on-one inside the doors of IMF. All I need is that little push. I need to see that flame that I lit up your ass when we were back in Redacted Company number 1.
I
need to see the James Taylor that when I fought RC Cola, that you come out and try to attack me.
By the way, we love RC Cola here.
You try to attack me during my match with RC Cola, and I can't. I still won the match, by the way. That was the funny part. So whatever you tried to succeed.
Now Anthony, I know that you are talking, but I have a guest that's coming on here, and it's a guest that's gonna maybe break the internet, and it's a guest that you probably haven't seen on this stream, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big if they could get on here. I do want to say, by the way, also that my good friend Mr. Ed Pizzo, he could maybe host this match also because he has a thing called Dooley that maybe you guys could challenge each other on there. I mean, Mr. Pizzo's a well-to-do individual, a very important figure that may be reimagining underground wrestling as we know it. He's got a plan, and I don't know if he's the Tony. I'm going to say it. Mr. Pizzo might be the next Tony Khan or the next VKM that we can't say his name of underground wrestling if he thinks he's got a plan.
I got the man's personal phone number and his email, and if everything happens smoothly over the next 12 months, maybe, and something goes right, I mean, then the money's really going to be talking, and then you're going to have a hell of a show
But
from
I
then
do
on
gotta
out.
bring this guest on, and I think it's gonna really break the internet. So can I bring this guest on? It's not personal. It's we're not going down that road, but it's a guest that I think that will be worth your time, Anthony, for the few minutes that you have here. Could I do it? Would you like me to?
Sure.
Wait, it's Zilla! It's Zilla! Zilla's on Sportzwire. Zilla!
Hell yeah.
Put the camera on. Anthony Steele's here. You gotta do it. Zilla.
Yo, what's good, Zilla? You know, my number one fan. James, you see this? This is what fans look like. This is
James
what
has
real fans look
140,000
like,
though.
bro.
What are you talking about?
Hey, look, a lot of them are bots. This is real.
No.
Zilla ain't a bot. True fan. True friend. Right here. A good friend of mine.
Yes.
One of my top supporters. So, Zilla, let me ask you the question. Would you like to see Anthony Steele versus James Taylor 3?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who do you think would win?
I'm going with a double count out. It's gonna be a double count out. I like both guys, so I'm going double count out.
Anthony Steele, of course.
I'm going double count out or a disqualification. That's what I'm going with.
Hey, it's okay. Let's shout out to the movie I'm wearing. When I get done with you, James, all I'm gonna hear you yell out is Ricky!
You know, Chad has no idea what you're talking about. But okay.
If y'all ain't never seen Boys in the Hood, go watch it. It's a great movie.
Well, we appreciate the 1991 reference, but it's 2020.
But James, man, come on. Even Zilla knows. That
It's
You-
really
you
hard
ain't-
to take you serious when you wear them stupid Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
this ain't Jeffrey Dahmer, motherfucker. These are shades. He wore fucking dumbass fucking big ass fucking glasses.
Aren't those big?
No,
Bad
actually
bad
no.
boys. What
No.
you gonna do? Look, I will
That's
not
the
What-
wrong movie.
Hey,
out.
yeah, homie.
You know, and I know both, Mr. Anthony, that you and I have been the main attraction since I've returned.
That's
And
true. Good
that's
point.
why you say that I'm your greatest rival. And likewise, I guess since I've returned into backyard and underground wrestling, I'm going to say, and I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass too much here, but you've been my greatest rival too. You are the cream of the crop. You're the guy that I have to show who the real king of this jungle is. You're still an up and
King of the
comer.
jungle, the
You're still
Lion
an up
King.
and comer, but you're the biggest fucking thorn in my side. You piss me off.
Can I
Almost
ask you
as
one
much
final
as Jason
question?
Storm. Jason Storm's get creeping up there quick, but you over the past 2 years, they ain't talking about
Can
no
I ask
offense
you a
to him,
question?
Comatose and Aaron Blaze. They're not talking about Jason Storm and CJ Black. They're not talking about Soldier GP and Justin Parsley. For the last 2 years or more, it's been Anthony Steele and James Taylor, period. And I think you can agree.
Can I ask
with
you a
me.
question? Can I ask you a question?
Go for
Do you think I'm a bad guy?
it. I think
Do
you
you-
just do, Anthony.
Hold on. Do you think I'm a bad guy? Honestly, answer me, you fucking son of a bitch. Do you think I'm a
Well,
bad guy?
Zilla's on here. Anthony Zilla's on here. That's
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, you big head fuck.
I thought
Do you
were
think I'm a
calling
bad
Tom
guy?
a son of a bitch. I was about to say,
We
oh,
gotta
shit.
plug Dakota, by the way. She's going to work. I want to plug her YouTube channel while you guys go fight it out.
James, do you think I'm a bad guy?
I don't really think you're a bad guy. I think you're an asshole.
That's
Okay.
not nice.
Well, a lot of people think that I'm a bad guy. You know.
Well,
and
you
they
need to,
think-
it's 2025. Maybe
It's-
you want to be born
look,
again, Anthony. I
Look,
don't know.
it's okay, James. It's okay. Because I'm gonna take a quote from a guy from your era.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring you back to real life because there's a quote that I kind of live by, and it goes, hard work pays off and dreams come true, and bad times don't last, but bad guys do. And that's the one thing about me that I'm still relevant in the wrestling scene because I'm everlasting in this industry. While you faded away in 2005, or wait, my bad, 2008 when you ended your fucking ugly dumbass career. While you faded away to black and I had to bring you back to fucking the glory days, I've remained relevant my entire fucking 8 years. So, James, that's why people know that if it was to come down to me versus you one more time, you'd get your fucking teeth stomped in. You could take that little TikTok money and you could fix the dental work that you're going to need to fix when I'm done with your bitch ass.
All right, Anthony, we appreciate this. I mean, James. You can
So James, sign the contract.
Who's writing the contract?
Sign the contract.
All you're doing is you're continuing.
I'll tell you what, I got a lot to cover with James. Anthony, is there anything else you want to share here to James? Because obviously he'll ponder this decision.
Yes. I got some. James.
Yes.
I'll give you 1 year. I'll give you 1 year to get your financial situations in order, your traveling in order. I'm going to issue the challenge.
You know, we could always do it unduly. By the way, you know there is a possibility it could go.
I'm gonna issue the challenge right here, right now, James. And this is gonna show the world if you're really the bitch that I know you are, or if you're the man that you think you are.
I guess if I'm a bitch or I'm a man, whichever it is, you're still always going to be a little boy in this business.
Hey, listen. Hey, this little boy is taller than you, badder than you, and has beated your ass not once but twice.
So you ain't badder than me.
So here you go.
That's why you're coming here
December.
on this platform while I'm on here.
December.
That's why you
December 20.
All right,
that's why you came. That's why you come on to me. You come on to my lives all the time.
Anthony, we love you, Anthony.
Because you're always trying.
Let me issue this challenge. Let me issue this because obviously you're trying to like deflect that I'm trying to issue a challenge. I'll give you time.
All right.
Winter Clash 2025.
That's time. That's a lot. That's some good time.
Again, that's a lot of time. That way you can get everything situated. Your rides arranged, your car arranged, your bills paid. Anthony Steele versus James Taylor win a clash 2025. Or if you think you could do it sooner, there's a little event going on July 5th and July 6th as a little thing that we like to call Summer Bash. If you can make it then, why don't we do it at Summer Bash?
Never, kid.
You're right. Never say never, kid. But I'm going to say it. Never! You're never coming back! Well, it took you 2 years to show the fuck up. It's going to take you another 20 to make a return.
Well, we appreciate this, Anthony. Anthony, I can't wait to see you here.
I love you, Zilla. Thank you so much for
Where is Zilla, by the way? Zilla, don't be afraid. Is Zilla here, by the way?
It is great to see you.
Where is Zilla? Does Zilla leave?
It is great to see you.
Zilla, Anthony's going to go in a minute. He wanted to say hi. And by the way, we're not going to acknowledge. I know Xavier Thorne is fighting you. We'll leave that for a different time. We don't.
Oh, is he rude?
Well, he's mad at you about something. Did you guys? Oh, he's not happy with you.
What,
I don't know.
What is he mad about? I mean,
he said you're an American tragedy. I believe that's what he said.
I'm an American tragedy that's still more known in and out of wrestling than Xavier Thorne. For the simple fact, here's the biggest thing. If Tom Bryce didn't tell the world who Real Wrestling League is and say that it was you, everyone would have been in the comments saying, "Who the fuck is that?"
Well,
and again, I created that logo. You're using a logo that I made. So again, my relevancy. You wouldn't be relevant without me. So you can cry into that fucking crusted up sock that's standing in the corner of your bedroom, and you can get the fuck over it.
Well, I appreciate
because you will not be me. You'll never be me, and you'll never be as famous as me.
Well,
Because
Anthony, let's focus on the ring. Obviously, Mr. Thorne, he'll do what he
you're right.
needs.
You're right. I ain't got a. What is the thing that they used to say back in the day, James? Oh yeah, I ain't got time for that playground drama. So go back to doing what you're doing.
And I'm looking forward to you being here this week. Forget about certain names you've been going back and forth with. You've got a lot to work on here. You've got a
You're
big
right.
match.
You're right. Because for once in 4 and 5 months time, I don't have to defend this.
But Anthony,
I
I tell you where you should be tuning into. I tell you what, you should be tuning in Friday night because Chase Wakefield is here, and he did actually have you on his list of dream opponents.
Yeah, I'm the final one because he knows he saved the greatest for last. And thank you,
Well,
Chase
I
Wakefield.
don't know. Well, you could talk to him. He's your
Baby.
yes. And
Yeah.
Justin Parsley did want to chime in. He's here, and yeah.
But hey, Parsley, how's your mouth feeling?
That's a good question.
How's your
You want
mouth?
to see him in promo wrestling, by the way?
He'd get fucking dog walked by me too.
Is there anybody?
Well, by the way, Brightside got kicked out 2 weeks in.
He did.
So
What happened to him?
yeah,
You
that
sure?
motherfucker didn't show up.
Well, maybe he was getting ready for your match with him.
You're right. He had to rewrite the lines a couple more times.
Well, you know what? It's always
Oh.
good to see it. Obviously, they're in Florida, so we thank Mr. Thorne and his wife for tuning in from Florida. We love Florida. Kyle Shelby's obviously happy to see you. And Anthony, I know you got to run. Anything else you want to say here? Because we got a lot to talk about here with James over the next hour.
First off, I want to say Zilla, thank you for coming on and showing your support. Much love. Continue doing what you're doing. I love Zilla, whether heel or face. You're my favorite fan of all time, and much love and respect. Tom, thank you for letting me grace the presence of Sportswire Radio yet again.
Yes.
And thank you for letting me be on
We
here.
turned down Rhino was going to talk to James, but we turned Rhino down and said you could come on instead. It was a joke.
It's damn. Maybe Rhino could have knocked some sense into this motherfucker because obviously
Rhino
the beatings
is
I've given him.
doing other things. He just wrestled Joey Janela last night. I think he's getting over.
You're
that.
right, and he lost, but it's okay.
He did lose, but he won the night before, and he did win in a tag team.
But
the night before that too. So,
but I want to give out a shout out to my boy Chris Bay. Hey, Chris Bay, get well, get healthy. I did see those auctions going on eBay. I might buy that Feast or Fire briefcase.
nice.
You never know.
You never know.
So,
right? Life's a box.
But
of
the final thing I want to say is to you Dragon Ball Z fucking cunt, James Taylor. His hat is Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
So James, finally, we need to get this fucking done in 2025. We need this over. Buried.
For the birds. It is for the birds here. Well, Anthony,
I got 2 of those.
We appreciate this very much, Anthony. You get 60 seconds.
But James, just know next time you show up to IMF, watch your back because you never know when I'm gonna show up.
That's true. That is true. True.
So, and just think, you still got Soldier GP lurking on your ass too. That's even funnier. So now the 2 people that you hated seeing in Iowa are looking for you in Iowa. Because we're both wondering the same thing, and that's one thing that me and Soldier have in common. Is when's James Taylor going to come back?
Well, you know what? He just showed up and he enjoyed it. He was praising his time there.
Congratulations.
He just showed up and he's, I'm sure, going to talk a lot more about that. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Hey, but final question, James.
Final, Anthony.
I love you when I say this, but how you feeling, buddy?
Better.
Better? Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm sending my love out to the lady, Mrs. Taylor. Tell her I send my love and my respects. But
quoting a Led Zeppelin lyric, Anthony. All my love, all my love. Didn't know you had Robert Plant in you after all.
But that's all right, James. I'll let you take back your little Sportswire dreams. But hey,
You
tune
have
in.
those dreams.
Tune in
You're
on
back.
Thursday. Tune in Thursday night for the IMF when we go live to promote. It's where we promote.
Well, before I let you go, so if the two of you can get 1,000 viewers to vote on Dooley for your match, I'll put up $500 for the winner. That's what Ed, Mr. Pizzo, who's, by the way, has a thing called Dooley, which he's basically trying to reimagine, I think, our scene as we know it. And I guess if we can get 1,000 people to vote about these guys having a match, he'll put $500 from his own money for the winner. That's a lot of money, Anthony. $500 for you. It's $500. A lot of money
It's
there.
A lot of money to him.
Could be a lot of money to you, James. Even.
Dude, do you see my setup? You're sitting in the fucking corner like a good little kid. Motherfucker, I don't need. Hey, that's chump change to me right now.
A fucking kid. Shut up.
I'm such a kid that makes more money than you.
All right, thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you very much. Anthony Steele has certainly had a lot to say. Maybe we'll figure that out. Zilla, I'm going to take you to the backstage. You can come back in a little while. Reactions here, James Taylor. Anthony Steele was in rare form. Certainly he was fighting with you, other people in the chat, and certainly New Year's resolutions thrown out the window there, huh?
He's got to steal my spotlight. That's all. He's trying to steal. He likes to be, let me just say it this way. Let me reword it. He likes to be in my spotlight. He likes to be wherever I am because he knows if he's talking to me, he's going to get the viewership. Because if it's just him, unless he's bitching about somebody.
Unless he's saying something controversial,
sorry,
you
Anthony.
say the viewership.
Sorry, not sorry.
Well, you know what you're trying to say is if he's not saying something controversial, the viewership's not as much. Is what you're saying?
He needs me. He needs me to talk to me to get that clarity that he's somebody. All he's got is a championship. He needs to keep holding on to that championship and keep it as warm as he can because sooner or later somebody's gonna come along and snatch that bitch right from him. Then what has he got? He's got nothing.
Well, I mean, obviously, some would say, Anthony was being Anthony.
Anthony was definitely being Anthony, of course, wearing his Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. He
I
says his
don't know about
sunglasses.
that.
I say the Jeffrey Dahmer. But hey, it is what it is. I guess obviously he's got Xavier Thorne living in his head rent free.
Well, you don't have any issues with Xavier Thorne, right? You guys,
it's just Xavier Thorne.
Oh well, I'll let those two figure it out, right? Maybe they'll.
Yeah, we'll let them figure it out. Let them hash it out.
But you know what? Maybe we should get to the chat now. The chat, everybody's here. We'll come back to some different things. We thank everybody here for tuning. I've been plugging people, so people they're awake now. I mean, they're definitely awake.
Hello, everybody.
All right, well, let me get to the chat because there's a lot of people that would like to say, yes, I'm with Comatose. Zilla made a celebrity appearance. We'll bring Zilla back on in a little while. We'll let things die down a little bit, or maybe they won't. Who knows? But I think you got a lot of things to talk about. We're kind of going in back and forth, in some of those things. So we'll go with that. Don't choke on the air. Let's go from the very beginning. We got a lot of people here, so let's just bring them in. You know what? I got so many comments, I can't find them all. There we go.
Lord.
Yeah, a lot of people. Zilla was here. Thank you, Zilla. Mm-hmm. Nathaniel Rage, by the way, one of the guys that was in the stream yesterday. And, promo wrestling, obviously. That could be another place you and Anthony have this match. No.
I mean, I have my mixed feelings about the promo world when it comes to judged matches. I have my opinions on it. But if I'm just doing it for fun, I don't care. I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. But if, it's serious, then that's where I have an issue with it. Other than that, I don't care. It's all good. It's just a good way to be able to talk smack. And I think a lot of these guys in the community could use promo wrestling to help them develop their skills to be able to talk more. Because some people I've seen are hell of a talent in the ring. They're great at doing what they do in the ring, but they can't talk to save their life. Look at guys like Ricochet and why he's in AEW. Great in the ring, but he can't pick up a stick and talk to save his life. So
I can't talk at all. I mean, I can't even hold a microphone. I couldn't, say two words if my life depended on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trying a career, James, I figured I'd lighten the mood a little bit to try a career at stand-up comedy because I know, it's contentious and I wanted to, make everybody feel a little bit better. We appreciate
Exactly.
Anthony, and it was Anthony being Anthony. Ed
I
is
think you're
loving
great
Ted.
at talking. I think you're great at
I
talking.
don't know. Maybe I'm gonna let Zilla take over. Yes, we're doing great. Lyra Limber, the TPW Hardcore Champion, is in the house. Like to say hello to Lyra. Hey everybody, your friendly neighborhood destroyer has arrived. The destroyer. And I think we just saw Anthony destroy a lot of things tonight. Yes, our friends here from TPW. Ox McCoy, put some bass in your voice and show some fire, kid. I mean, you and Ox obviously shared a locker room with each other.
Ox is he's one of my faves. He's a real
A good man.
respectable guy.
A
I
great
got a lot of
man.
respect for him. He's a tough guy, definitely.
Very tough man. Very tough man. Very, very tough man. Our friends in Carolina Trampoline Wrestling, we won Sportswire chants ramping up now. Well, I hope you got him. Did you like it so far, Chad? Did you want the Sportswire chants? I mean, we had a lot of people chanting for Rhino. I mean, we had 31 people on the live stream on YouTube the other night for Rhino. People, they were fired up. You were there. We love the House of Wolves. We love them. Nathaniel Rage, your videos that have that Evil Dead genre to them. Southern Silk, Smoothest Silk Baby from Carolina Trampoline Wrestling. Chase Wakefield here, Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. He obviously wants a match with Anthony, but maybe he should have James Taylor on that list too, right?
Maybe. I mean, that'd be the biggest. Not toot my own horn, it'd be the biggest thing for his show.
Well, he's going to be here Friday night. I'm going to ask him about that.
Chase is a good kid. I like him.
He's a good man. His bank account's probably running low right now, though.
Probably, if he's getting ready for a wedding.
Well, you know what? That's why I'm not the one getting married. And I'm the one that could afford the wedding.
Could always just go to a courthouse. It's a lot cheaper.
People would, you know what? I'm sure I should get married. I'm sure somebody would love to get married to me. I have half of the bank account. I'm sure they would love to drain my resources, drain my war chest. They would like to drain my war. They would like to drain my war chest. But we'll see. I get a lot of people say, "Oh, you should run for office. Oh, you should do this." And I have to cut my hair, cut my mutton chops, and can't be on Sportswire. And I have to drain my war chest. We're not going to do that. Cameron Cage, by the way, is in the house. I love to see Cameron back out there. Cameron's a good man. Always enjoyed Cameron Cage on here. I hope to see Cameron back out there. Whatever the future is, that's a guy I would like to see you wrestle. I don't know where that could be. Maybe it could be on Dooley. You and Cameron on Dooley. That would be something. I hope Cameron gets back out there. Just a good man. A good man.
Yeah, I like Cameron a lot. He was one of my favorites.
One of the good ones.
He was real fun to wrestle when I did. And
a lot of good guys were there in that company. I mean, a lot of good wrestlers. I don't want to, say everybody. Unlike Retracted Company number 1, there was a lot of good people in company number 2. So I do want to put that out there at least. It's what can you do? I mean, you can only.
Not everybody was bad there. You're
no,
right.
there was a lot of good. We had D'Angelo, we had Gold Dragon, Cameron. I mean, Dustin Alexander. There was people there. I mean, Cato. I mean, it was a lot of people there too. I don't want to paint a broad brush. That's my boss, Kyle Shelby's in the house. Kyle, I'm sure, was loving you doing whatever you could to talk to Anthony. You didn't get a chance to talk much to Anthony, but that's okay. That's okay.
I just kind of let him have his time.
It reminded me like when you're, you ever see a fire, firemen fighting a fire, and they're just like. That was just pretty much you. It was Anthony.
That's basically, I'm the.
That was Anthony in like Anthony form of last year, not the Anthony the last 4 months. That was moving on to, I thought, in the ring, but that's okay. Yes, we got that. Hello to Cameron. Ed loved the intro. That was a while ago, by the way. We got so many comments here. Is that James Taylor? You better believe it. You better believe it. Love Dakota. Hope she's doing well. Never say never, Justin Bieber. Well, I mean, ask Haley Bieber about that. Duel that baby. Comatose. Big shout out to Comatose. I really, Comatose's podcast, that could be a place you could go to. He's going to resume his podcast. He did a really good job. He was trying to figure out the live stream, how to connect the chat. He figured that out, and he's a good talker. Maybe Comatose should take over for me on Sportswire. He could get in the middle between you and Anthony. Maybe it's time to pass the baton to Comatose. What do you think? Time to retire?
No, it ain't time for you to retire yet. If I'm not retiring, you're not retiring. How about that?
I had Rhino already. That's it. I'm good to go. I had Rhino. I had a main event. Where else? I mean, I got after Stud Bronson tomorrow. Where else we going? James should be the PWF champion. It's nonsense. It was a fluke. James Taylor brings the danger from a manager while hiding a razor. Okay, all right. Well, that's interesting lines.
Appreciate
Anthony Steele, who can't afford you. I don't think Anthony. I think Anthony can afford you. I think he chooses his style. I'll leave that at that. Yes, Zilla is definitely the our number one fan. Not concerning you, but the House of Wolves have taken a hold in the IMF, and you got out of Dodge before all of that. So good news for you is that you got other things to worry about. And then that was a while ago. He did appear, all right. He did appear. And the pups, well, I don't know what that means. Who else we got here? Shelby. We're gonna leave that. I think Kyle's doing a good job. And yep, we're gonna leave that at that. Who else we got here? We got a lot of comments. Yep, Zilla loves and respects her House of Wolves. I did that, but I'll be pumping out push-ups. I'm glad you enjoyed being in my locker room. Omen Black. It is his show after all, and he takes a minute to say he enjoyed. You happy about it? Yes. Would you like to say anything?
No, I'm just don't get no tone. Hopefully, I'm not reading that in a tone that I don't like. Hopefully, that
no, it was a good tone. No, he was. I think Omen was paying his respects in his way, and we don't want to get in his path, especially after his last appearance on Sportswire. Mr. Bright Marlboro 100s. Yep,
that's a good one.
And this is the man. We're gonna have a show next Sunday. The High Chief talks. Myself and Mr. Drago. I'm sure you'll pop up at some point. We're going to talk about just wrestlers, things, and yeah, good man. Talk to me about this man. Yes.
They said has arrived. What? And I had a few minutes to talk to Uso Taffy. I will say hands were shaked and the respect was, yeah, definitely. Like I said, Mr. Drago, hell of a guy right there. I shook his hand, got to meet him, got to watch his badass match that he did have with Felix. I think I softened Felix up a little bit for him, hopefully. But he had an awesome matchup with him. If y'all haven't
seen it, he's our briefcase holder in the IMF. He's going to be a part of the 4-on-4. Really excited about Drago. I can't wait to see him here next Sunday. Hello to Anthony Steele. Soldier said, hell froze over. However, my stunner kept you down for a 3 count.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that's kept me down, but you didn't kill me. You didn't really get the job done, Soldier. So sorry, not sorry.
Well, let's get to some more comments. I actually enjoyed seeing James. Don't worry, James. You might have been able to get the job done. Both yours truly laid out, both Soldier and Justin Parsley, because I'm not going to read that as well. He is GP. Yeah, Soldier GP.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'm kind of glad that you did go in there and wipe the floor with him a little bit.
But you could, but you know, Anthony's in the House of Wolves. I mean, you must have your opinions on that. I'll leave that at that. Soldier James had it mixed up. He thought that if he laid on his back, he'd be pinning you. He didn't understand that it was traditional. It was a fluke.
Yeah.
Hello to Omen Black. Rematch. James don't want it. Never say never for another 2 years before he shows back up.
Okay. Whatever you feel.
Controversial.
Just know, Soldier, if you're listening still, just know that when I do return, it's going to be a whole different story because I will knock your head off. I promise you. 1-on-1, you've got 0 chance of escaping me. You've got 0 chance of surviving that matchup, period.
Okay, well, obviously, the controversial one is Anthony Steele. He did arrive, and that was an Anthony-like episode. Oh, my God. Yeah, it was that. Soldier, why are you here? Don't you have to go pray and beg to Mr. Johnson to get the match canceled for this weekend? Well, that's going to be Thursday's topic. Not going to happen.
Keep talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
No problem. Preach. Yep. We talked about Xavier Thorne. Thank you, Xavier Thorne, for tuning in. Sean Jovi, go give him a sub. Also, yep, we thank you, Xavier Thorne, for your time to come and talk to Anthony. Anthony's off the show. Steele, let the past be the past. Yes, thank you, Omen, for actually giving us some insights. Omen is right on that. You got to move on. Anthony's got a lot to talk about. Omen, remember, this is what you wanted, brother. Xavier, who? Long story. Why promo wrestling at all? Well, there's a lot of people that like it. I think it has a very important concept, and a lot of people do enjoy it, and I enjoy it too. Anthony being Anthony, yeah, that's pretty much that. We appreciate Anthony, though. Yep. Thorne isn't welcome in his locker room. Not enough for his ego and big forehead. Well, I'll let the IMF figure that out. I'm crying. This has already been a classic. Yeah, people will remember this one tonight. Hopefully, they'll remember Rhino more, which I think they will. Jerry Lawler versus Andy Kaufman, too. Comatose, go to his YouTube channel. I'm telling you, his podcast, Comatose might be the man to replace me. He might be the man. Do that. And Comatose is here next Thursday night. Same time, same bad channel as James Taylor is. Hit the sub button for the IMF. Trust me. Yes, thank you for that. Omen, we are not going to go there. Okay. Soldier Boy, you're the incompetent fool to fall in the trap. You need to pick up the IMF. Anthony is afraid of me, though. I'm going to leave that at that. I'm going to not bring on that. I don't know who's the real headline. I would not go there. Anthony had a lot to say. Thank you, Kyle. Not going to repeat that comment. We're a family station. I appreciate you, though. Yeah, Xavier getting silver. Well, I don't think about that. Zilla was here. She'll come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. We know this is a big fan of Anthony. Zilla needs a link. She got the link. Going to move on to this comment, which I think is probably directed at Anthony. Anthony is. I'm like, we're going to move on from that. We appreciate people tuning in. Anthony, my brother, don't worry. All these pathetic sheep will wake up in due time. We are the red pill in the IMF. He needs to feel. Yeah, we're going to move on. Yep, we know that. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in. Yep, a lot of Anthony back and forth. Justin Parsley was here. I want to come back to him in a few minutes because there is some unfinished business there with you and him. Well, it's Bag of Bones and Nolan Money McDermott 2.0. Oh, boy, he just said Anthony Steele Nolan McDermott 2.0. James, have we got this all wrong? That Anthony Steele's the copycat of Nolan McDermott?
I think he's the Anthony Steele pre-release because he's not 2.0 anymore, because I've seen his work, and Nolan, you kind of repeat yourself like a broken record. Son, all you got to do is go get in a ring and train for about 6 months to a year, however long it might take you. Trim about, 75 pounds, and you might be somebody, kid. So call me about 6,
But
7
Anthony's
months.
a big guy. He's done well in the ring. You can say what you want about Anthony here,
That's Anthony, and yes, Anthony is where he's at. I'm not talking about Anthony. I'm talking about Mr. Pre-release Anthony now.
Oh,
yes,
well,
ladies and gentlemen.
According to him, though, Anthony's the pre-release version of Nolan McDermott.
That's between them, but in the actual terms and facts, and I hate to
Anthony's got a lot of
forward.
people that want scores to settle with him again. I mean,
Yeah.
do you think the owner of the IMF is watching this tonight? How do you think he feels about his company?
Maybe Mr. Nolan needs to step in the promo world against Anthony. Let's see what they can do.
You know what? I would love to see that, but I wonder how the owner of the IMF thinks tonight. What does he think about Anthony?
I got no clue. I ain't talking to him.
That's a great question, and I'm going to ask it one day. Justin Parsley was here. We'll get to him. Ed's loving the show, by the way. Ed hopefully will get us to a bigger platform, and not here, but for you guys. Yep. Hello to Zilla. Yep, Zilla. We got a lot of Zillas. Yep, a lot of Zillas. Anthony, you're a bot. Dakota had a funny. I don't think Anthony's a bot. He's just Anthony.
He's just Anthony.
I'm not going to go repeat Xavier Thorne comments to Omen Black. I am not going to go there. Thank you, Xavier, though. Kyle Shelby wants Xavier Thorne. Yeah, we're all starstruck. We love, respect, and appreciate Zilla. Thank you for that. Thorne. Who else we got here? Thorne got the Silver Wolf heat. I am not going to go there. That's a different league. Zilla was the main attraction, and we'll bring Zilla back onto the stream. We will bring her back on in a little while. Thank you. Yep. And please be safe. I plugged your YouTube channel. Who else we got? Nolan would probably, well, we'll leave that at that. I don't want to mention people that have done certain things, so we'll consider that in the Dust Bowl. It's nice to have people have my, maybe this is the true Anthony.
It might be. Who knows? Oh, shit.
Right. Tonight is really falling off here. I see some comments directed toward Anthony. I'm not Samoan. I'm Native American and Sicilian. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. We appreciate all ethnicities, all genders and backgrounds. I'm not that big of a compliment. Gotta pay dues. He just stole from Scott Hall as Anthony. To be down the middle, thank you for that, Comatose. I respect the hell out of you both. He meant to say you and Anthony. He actually corrects himself. And Chase Wakefield said, "Sorry, I just came back from taking a Nolan in the toilet."
Oh wow, damn, shit.
They have all my name in their mouth. I'm. You know what? Did I see Nolan McDermott tonight or Anthony Steele? Because Nolan McDermott seems to be convinced it was Nolan McDermott on the street.
I don't think he understands where his place is in this business. So Nolan,
Do you think
shut
Nolan
up.
McDermott, like, how do you think he would go in the IMF? Do you think you just had a lot of respect in that locker room? You wrestled there. Like, how do you think a Nolan McDermott would fit in there?
I
Where do you think?
guarantee if Mr. McMuffin came to the IMF doors, he wouldn't get the turnout that I did. He definitely wouldn't be welcomed as much as I was, and he would be very underperforming. He'd probably be up there with the likes of maybe a Remington Striker. I don't know.
Speaking of the IMF, though, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Thomas McEntee. Thomas McEntee's birthday is today. Like to
Happy
wish him a
birthday.
happy birthday. Hope he has a wonderful, blessed day. Thomas McEntee next month is having a really cool match, by the way. He's wrestling Ace Christian. It's the first time anybody from DBW or VTW have stepped foot in an IMF ring. Really cool moment. And I want to say happy birthday to Thomas McEntee. I'm really looking forward to Thomas McEntee. And speaking of VTW, I wanted to give a big plug to VTW, actually, because Chase Wakefield gave me this really cool article. Let's focus on the good news here for a minute, because some really cool news that I'd like to share for everybody here on Sportswire Radio. In that we have a nice article here that was written up. It was a blog from the Harold Williams blog, and it was about those in the North Carolina wrestling scene. And one of the premier independent wrestling companies was VTW versus the World Wrestling. Really cool achievement. You see a list of all these companies: UPWA, WXW, some really pure pro wrestling. Our guest Nikki Chooch actually wrestled there or wrestles there, and VTW is recognized as one of the premier independent wrestling companies, independent underground wrestling companies in North Carolina. Congratulations to everybody there. Thank you, Chase, for allowing us to share some good news. If you want to read about that and read about all these wonderful wrestling companies who are going out there and making a difference for us, you can do that here. There you go. Okay. And yes, happy birthday.
I just thought of something. I didn't mean to
What?
interrupt you.
You can say anything you want.
I think Nolan's best placement, if he went to IMF, would
What?
be maybe working on the ring crew. He would really fit in
Stop.
right there. He'd be able to do well in the ring crew. He'd be able to show what he knows. If anything, learn from these guys, and he'd be good at carrying bags for everybody.
So you think that really he needs to pay his dues?
He damn sure needs to pay his dues. He's a punk kid who thinks he thinks he has this figured out. He ain't got a clue. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Wow, so you're really laying into this Nolan McDermott. What did he do to you, Nolan McDermott? He didn't do any. I mean, Anthony already left this group. Unless I'm confused, and Nolan really was Anthony Steele.
I liked him for maybe 5 minutes until I was really listening and paying attention to what was spewing out of his mouth, and it's just literally like he only has like maybe a clip in his magazine that's got maybe 3 or 4 rounds in it. He shoots them and then he has to reload and do the same ones over and over. He ain't got no material. He ain't got nothing. I seen his work, and he's got a lot of learning to do. I'm sorry, kid. Not sorry. Like I said, you got a lot to learn. You're a pre-release Anthony Steele, period. If that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move on. I got to take a Nolan. So, okay, I'll move on. We're going to move on. Who else we got here? A lot of people. Chase Wakefield, that was the funniest thing I've said. I get it. Boy, the chat's having a lot of fun tonight. Yeah, we see Xavier Thorne's wife. Thank you for tuning in. Are you up? Let's move on here. Jeffrey Dahmer on crack. That was Anthony. That's so Raven. Anthony Steele. Yep. Admit it. Okay. What are we doing for? By the way, Cameron Cage had his money on you.
Appreciate that,
Cameron Cage. I really do hope Cameron Cage, we see him out there again. He was one of those guys. I just felt I don't want to make
Cam should give the IMF a call and maybe they can hook him up with something. Cameron Cage is a good cat. I like
he's
him.
a good dude.
Come to ROEW. I'm pretty
You
sure
know,
we can open the doors for
I
you.
hate to throw comparisons, but he kind of is like our Rhino in a way. That Rhino, not to say he was underappreciated, but he could have did more after ECW. And I feel like Cameron Cage certainly. I'd like to see more of him out there again. He was. I don't think we've scratched the surface to see what he can do. He had the size. He had the ability on the microphone. Conducted himself the right way outside of the ring. I'd like to see more of him. He was one of the guys I enjoyed having on here. So I really hope that we see more of him out there. There are a lot of people, James, want to talk to you. So wait, I'm going to move on about Xavier Thorne and Predators. Let's leave people alone who aren't Predators. Wait a minute. Chase Wakefield says, I can't wait to meet Anthony Steele when I get to the IMF. You know anything about this? Do I have to ask Chase about this on Friday? I know nothing about this. We're going out. I'm gonna ask you. Oh, you better believe that I'm asking him. Steelers calling out. Yeah, I like Anthony too. I really do like Anthony. But Anthony was in rare form. I love Anthony. We love what he's done for the wrestling community.
I don't love Anthony, but that's fine.
Well, I appreciate his ring ability. I definitely didn't expect Anthony to lace into people for 30 minutes. But, you know, Anthony's like the Forrest Gump. Life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's kind of Anthony, how he goes. You're coming as a fan. By the way, maybe that what he means? Do you think Chase Wakefield's buying a ticket to the Palo Center? That's a good point by Mr. Parsley.
No clue, but I'd like to see it when it happens. Whether he buys a ticket as a fan, or if he
you want me to
shows
buy
up
him?
to do something.
I'm always donating tickets. I'm donating two. This kind of show. Should I donate a ticket to Chase so he could go and watch the show?
Maybe ask him when you have him on your show and see what he says.
I'll ask him. He's here Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
We ride for Anthony on Sportswire. Don't forget that. Okay, thank you. Let's leave people's husbands alone. I don't need holy water. I just need you to move on and forget about Anthony Steele. You do you, and we'll move on here. Thank you for that. Who else we got? We're gonna leave out the family stuff here. Yep. Oh, you missed a lot, but you know, that's how Sportswire goes. Yeah, some fireworks, pretty much. And thank you, Ed, for that. Zilla made a celebrity appearance. Ed's talking cheddar. Yeah, Steele. It was funny. Steele had a few minutes and turned it into like 35.
Oh God, I know it.
Comatose. I could never wake up without a overdose of you. Move on. Thank you, Johnny Robinson. I hope you tune in and hit the sub button for us here. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny tuned in. Hit the sub button for us. Edward, send me some money. I told you. See, I told you this was it about. Yep, we love Kyle. We love Comatose. Unfortunately for Steele, James is the final boss. So Thorne is Team Taylor. Not surprised though, obviously. That's good. You're happy about that. He says Steele needs him kind of like Taylor needs me. But Chase says, you know, Soldier is his hero.
I think Soldier really needed me for IMF. That's why he's so adamant about me showing up. And that's why he was more in my face than he was in Parsley's face. And he was more pissed at Parsley at the time. But when I showed up, Soldier couldn't keep his hands off me.
Well, you know what? I'm going to move on from that. We want to wish everybody have a great date with those significant others. You're the only one who will ever say that sentence, Chase. I love you, Omen. Okay, Omen broke my heart. Why did Omen Black break your heart? I would like to know. Valentine, you know what's funny? I got to say this here real quick. I was totally off topic. I think the chat's going to laugh at this. So I'm out, obviously, in my home communities today. You know, I guess beautiful Brooklyn. I don't know if Brooklyn's beautiful anymore, but we'll go with it. And I actually saw somebody a few days ago, right? They had Christmas stuff up, right? That same house I walked past, you know what they already had up? Valentine's Day paraphernalia. Yeah. We're ready toward Valentine's Day.
I know. And before you know it, it'll be St. Patrick's Day. And then before
Easter,
you know it,
it'll
Easter,
be Memorial Day and
4th of July.
Labor Day. I'd love to pick up a stick in promo wrestling. Well, maybe you will. Still got more comments. Chase, don't tell me you're blind to their intentions. That reminds me of a Hootie and the Blowfish song, I Go Blind. We're not going to play that on Sportswire. Shelby, loving Omen. Kyle was... Okay, thank you for that. You're all making me pick sides. Why can't we all be friends? Just like you dropped your... Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take Omen out for you, Soldier. I'm gonna give him a gorilla press. Just so you know, Chase Wakefield weighs like 10 pounds, so that's not happening. But I'm not saying anything bad. He literally weighs like 10 pounds. I mean, Chase is here Friday night. I mean, okay. This weekend, when it's all said and done, you and the house will fall as fast as you started up again. Boy, Thursday is coming real soon on Sportswire. Big turnout tonight, by the way. I was laughing most of the time. Anthony is entertaining. He is entertaining. He just was Anthony tonight. We already won the match, Soldier. The foundation has fallen. The sinners are no more. The wolves are here to guide you. Just open your eyes. We opened them. Brother Rocks, did you get it? Don't worry, these sheep will soon. Remember, okay, they wanted it. Hey, Tom, let me ask you something. Do you or James watch any Feds in Texas? James Taylor equals final boss.
I mean, the only Fed in Texas would have been ESW. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us know. Yep. Appreciate that good words, and still proud. You know what? And I'll tell you what, the floor is always welcome for you, my man. Always a good man. Let's see who else. Oh, my man, Mr. DG Colt, who does a lot of different work out there. Mr. Brennan.
Yeah.
I think I'm tagged with every Instagram post. He does a killer job doing some logo work. He does a lot of it for NEW. And he says, James, you better not take out your anger out on the Starbucks girl tomorrow. Is it caramel, whatever called mocha caramel, right? That what you're getting tomorrow?
A what?
Caramel macchiato?
I don't know what the hell that is, but okay.
Okay,
Caramel macchiato? No, that's not my style. I don't do that. I get a nice. Here's the James Taylor drink, the Nemesis Tyrant King drink. You want to get a venti cold brew with 4 pumps of regular vanilla. You want an extra splash of vanilla sweet cream, and you want to put that chestnut praline cold foam on top. Put a little bit of cinnamon dulce sprinkles. That's the James Taylor drink. And 2 shots of blonde espresso. Boom.
Sounds like Anthony's appearance tonight on Sportswire Radio, DG. I guarantee to drop parsley on his head at least once during our match next Sunday. And James Taylor is laughing about it. Sounds safe enough. Corn Cox McCoy. What is with Ox McCoy and corn? Can somebody in the chat tell me why is that always a reference? Knowing the face of the Penny McDormand. And James Taylor has choked on air. Ladies and gentlemen, James Taylor. We hope that James Taylor is okay. James Taylor has choked live on Sportswire Radio. It's not from Anthony Steele. It's not from Zilla. James Taylor has choked. James, are you with us?
I'm all right. I'm leaving.
We'll move on here. We would love to humbly decline bringing in Nolan right now, but one other pedos company is hiring. Move on here. Just watch the face. I don't even like corn. I still want to know what's that reference. Fashionably late, Parsley. He's fashionably late. Yes, the whole monitor of Sportswire Radio. The whole monitor of Sportswire Radio. Justin Parsley. And I'm going to get to him in a few minutes. We're finally almost done with comments. How would Nolan fit in the locker room? He wouldn't. He just ain't got it. So basically, like you said, maybe he could help set the ring up. Maybe he could, sweep the floors, mop. Maybe he could carry bags.
I'm sure they'll give him a chance to do that at least.
Could he be an usher to maybe let the people in the venue, or is that too big?
He could do that. He can hand out cotton candy and popcorn to the fans.
Should he carry Anthony's bags?
Show venues to everybody and advertise at bars nearby. I mean, he'd be a hell of a guy to run some errands. He can clean the toilets for the fans. You know that guy when you go into the bathroom and he's sitting there waiting to, help you stay clean and everything? He could be one of them. An usher.
Oh, actually, though, they always said that being an usher was a great job. My uncle told me, but that was for Madison Square Garden, the world's famous arena. He was like, you got to get that job. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe in the next life. But then again, I could look at my bank account tomorrow and say, I think I've done all right in life. James, you're absolutely right. No one will carry all our bags. So a rare James Taylor Omen Black agreement here. Speaking of people, the YBW champion Dominic is in the house, the man that defeated Aaron Blaze and sent him packing west. And Dominic would like to say hello. Parsley better be on time Saturday. Yeah, he better be on time. He better be on time. What's the chances of that, though? Okay, I'm never late for a flight. About the only time I have a chance of showing up early. Poor Justin Parsley. Don't be late, Justin. If you have my back, you have nothing to worry about on the foundation side. I got an invite for Cameron Cage. You have Cameron Cage and Xavier Thorne in Texas.
Oh my God, Cam Cage, don't do that.
I'll let Cameron Cage address that. I've got
He'll
your six.
decide.
Exactly. Anyone left from the foundation? Sinners broke through the glass ceiling. It should be epic when we put our blueprints together. Parsley is one of the greats. Tom DM Thorne. No, we're good. It's okay. We're everybody's good. We understand. We're all cool. We'll definitely talk after the show. Last X Association saw me more of as a bad black sheep. Always happy to. I don't know anybody named X. I don't know any companies with an X. We just had Rhino on Sportswire. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, Rhino came here. And James Taylor was here. And Stud Bronson is here, by the way, tomorrow. Who's wrestling Savio Vega, who, by the way, he was the man that Stone Cold Steve Austin famously locked up with. And Stud Bronson is here on Sportswire tomorrow. He's
At least 3 times he had him in a leather
and
strap
and
match.
Stud
He fought
Bronson's
him.
wrestling him next Saturday. How about that?
Austin's WrestleMania 12 debut was against Savio Vega.
And
You know?
Savio Vega was best friends with Razor Ramon, and he had wars with Owen Hart. He wrestled in the ring. I mean, he's a big player. And Stud Bronson, who's here tomorrow night, is wrestling him. I mean, what a show we got going the way. Ox eats what? I don't know these references. I'm gonna leave that in that. We appreciate that. Nolan broke fill in the blanks McDermott, but even Nicholas Crenton's piling on poor McDermott. You can't prove anything. How can you be called money when you dress like a bum? He worked with him in Wisconsin. He knows McDermott. Seeing it at the barbecue last summer, you dipped it. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so you know what? I got all that. I got that all in. James, we can finally talk for a few minutes about a couple things. And I do want to address Justin Parsley, actually, because Justin Parsley were here with you on a stream last night. You guys were going back and forth. And there was something you did slip out of your mouth, and that was the PWF Championship. We got a chance to talk a little bit about it earlier on the show. And I know Soldier and you went back and forth here a little bit on the stream. Anthony Steele was Anthony Steele, but Justin Parsley seems like he's the guy I'm looking at right now that's in your crosshairs. Am I missing something? And you must want that PWF championship. And, you do work, obviously, in mysterious ways. You are the owner of ROEW. And Justin Parsley, last I checked, is still a part of the ROEW roster. So, I mean, you could certainly make Justin Parsley's life very difficult here.
I would make his life a living hell. And
more so than the other guy that tried to with a company we won't name here because we're above the fray on this platform.
Let's just face it, Tom. Let's face it. Any single sorry bastard that I get in the ring with, I either make them or break them. And I can end careers, which I have. They don't call me the Tyrant King for no reason. I've ended companies very recently.
Yes.
What makes you think, Mr. Parsley, that I couldn't end your title reign? Because if there's anybody that would deserve to hold that championship, it would be the nemesis James Taylor. But I'm not saying I need it, because I really don't. I've got a company to run, and that's something I'd like to talk about right now.
I was going to segue right into that because, James, I got a lot tonight about Anthony Steele. I got a lot about the IMF. We touched upon a few minutes even promo wrestling, and it seemed to me like that's something that's on the back burner for you for now. But ROEW is a company that you own, and Jason Storm is a man that said plenty about you. And Natural Selection have certainly been giving you some problems that you have to naturally select how to deal with. And what does it say, though, to Jason Storm, Alex Cross, and Holden Holloway, let's say, in Natural Selection, especially Cross and Storm, because, Alex Cross is killing it right now. He defeated CJ Black. He's looking great out there in the ring. You can say whatever you want about Alex Cross, but he's really come into his own the last few months. And Jason Storm, you know what? He can say anything he wants, but the facts is that he's the one right now that holds the prize that everybody talks about, everybody wants. And what does it say to them that you didn't choose to show up in the ROEW arena. You chose to go to Iowa. And what do you think that means for their future and your future in ROEW?
Let's go ahead and take that out of the equation right now because it's all I've been hearing since I went to IMF. I went to
Yes.
IMF first and foremost to handle some business. ROEW had nothing to do with it. I'm running ROEW just fine. I don't
Okay.
have to step through the curtain in ROEW to make the company so great because I'm running it from here at home in Alabama happily because guys like Jason Storm, Alex Cross, Holden Holloway, hell, even CJ Black. The natural selection doing what they're doing. Jason Storm talking his trash ain't doing me no favors. All he wants to do is think that he runs shit when he doesn't. See, Tom, ever since he shaved his head, he's clearly gone psycho. He's clearly gone nuts. He
He's
just
run guys out of town,
recently,
though, in ROEW, though. He's run
well,
multiple
as you can
guys out of
see,
town.
right. As you can see recently, he just brought back Jacob Collins, who we haven't seen in
I
months since his feud
I
with
was gonna
CJ
get to
Black.
that. I was actually gonna bring that up on the screen. Thank you for segueing into that, James.
And in a cowardly fashion, has him handcuffed, taped up, whatever, tortures him like a dog, doesn't give this man no flowers or nothing. Instead, he just wants to sit there and act like he knows what he's got going on in this business because he's the ROEW world champion. He was just in the right place at the right time. I'm going to give him that. He is the champion, Tom. But now the big question is, for how long is he going to be the champion? Because
What
he
do you mean?
keeps running his damn mouth. I'm trying to watch my mouth right here. I'm trying to watch my language because this is a family show. But
Yeah,
Jason
Rhino is here.
Storm,
The mainstream people actually tune into us now, so we do want to keep that in mind. Thank you.
Jason Storm is running rampant through ROEW. And quite frankly, it's really pissing me off. And I will guarantee this 2025 is going to be a hell of a year for ROEW. But I can promise you and I can guarantee you that if Jason Storm doesn't stop what he's doing, think about what he's doing, and step back, the hell he thinks he's putting everybody through will seem like kindergarten to the hell that I will put him through. And this is a warning, Jason Storm. Keep running your mouth, keep raising hell, and I promise you, Mr. Champion, I will destroy you personally. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will in 2025. Not going to say when because that's going to be the surprise. It's going to be the element of surprise. James Taylor, if you keep doing what you're doing, then James Taylor is going to have to step through that curtain, and I'm going to put it all on the line, and I'm going to make an example out of you, Jason Storm. Period.
Well, he just made an example of Jacob Collins, who we hadn't seen, I want to say, for the better part of 5 months. And Ed, by the way, is loving this. He wants he wants you to challenge everyone. God bless Ed, by the way. And if you're here right now, please go to the Dooley website. I'm telling you, Ed's gonna change the game. He might very well be our next Tony Khan, our next Vince McMahon prior to the Janelle Grant case, and whoever else has got deep pockets. But I guess though, still, Jason Storm is gonna say, but you showed up there and I've been the one that's been almost in control. He'll continue to say that he's in control. And CJ Black, who you brought up, still, I mean, CJ Black has had his decisions to make.
I think CJ Black has got a lot of pent up anger himself, and I really don't believe Jason is going to want the old CJ Black, whether he's a real good guy or not. I don't think he really
But what do
wants
you
that
think
type of
still
a.
on that? What do you think still on that? Are you convinced finally now, or you don't know?
Well, look at the evidence right here before us with Alex Cross second guessing what he's listening to, all the bullshit coming out of Jason Storm's mouth, and then here comes CJ Black. And what's CJ Black do? He clears the ring. Actually comes to the aid of one of his
A
rivals.
man, oh, by the way, he went into his house and broke in.
He
Remember that?
disrespected his family, disrespected his house,
Yes.
but right there, I guess, is proof in the pudding. And
But
maybe
Jacob
CJ Black
Collins,
has turned a
and
new leaf.
how about to your point and others, Jacob Collins, when we see this footage, didn't seem like he was convinced with CJ Black. Wasn't
Well, if
convinced.
anybody knows CJ Black better than anybody, I think it's Jacob Collins. Jacob has a lot of forgiving to do. And I think CJ Black has a lot to answer for in the shit that he's done over the past couple of years.
Oh,
And
I think he's been trying, though. I think he's trying the last few months. I think he's been trying his best, don't you?
he's trying his best, but just because he came out one time and helped Jacob like he just did, you could clearly see that Jacobs hasn't truly forgiven somebody like CJ Black. Would he rather have CJ Black in his corner or natural selection is a question. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Jason Storm has got hell to pay, period.
But what if CJ Black doesn't want to face Jason Storm? What if, for whatever reason, he can? What do you think, though? If you're the owner of this company, you're the one that's in charge right now. I mean, that's would have to say a lot if Mr. Black doesn't face Storm. And I said it when Storm was here a little over a month ago on Sportswire that Storm, whether you like him or not, he has run people out of this company. There
Well,
is names.
one great thing about me being the owner of this company is the fact that I make the matches. I book the show. I write the rules. I give the law. I am the law. I am the sheriff in town. I am the owner of ROEW. And if I decided to book a match between CJ Black and Jason Storm, I mean, clearly, I could put anything down on that piece of paper that I want, Tom. I could put the fact that this could be a straight singles match. And if anybody from Natural Selection decided to stick their nose in that ring during that match, I'll strip them of any titles they have. They'd be fired on the spot if I wanted to. We haven't come to that, but if that happens, then we'll let you know. But the point that I'm getting to is the fact that CJ Black, come hell or high water, one thing he loves to do is show off in that ring, straight wrestling.
He's one of the
And if
very
it's
best. I've
he's
said it
one of the
for
best.
years.
Yes, he is.
And you know what? For my money, he might have been the superstar of the year. He might have been. I mean, it's a really, it's so close. I mean, what
Did
you
you
think about what he did this year, whether you liked him or didn't like him, he was in his ring ability and his matches, his victories. I mean, I was listening to podcasts. There were guys that did podcasts the last few years. I heard Anthony Aries, right, did a podcast called The Smack Yard, and he talked about companies, and he said he praised ROEW. He didn't really talk about a lot of companies by name, but he talked ROEW. Comatose Today talked ROEW. He mentioned ROEW by name. People mention ROEW. When you mention ROEW, it's CJ Black that's been the guy that's put on match after match that's a 7-star superstar rated match. And he's done it, oh, by the way, only twice. Copper Dragon approved. And that's why no matter what happens here, CJ Black is still somebody that people want to see in this ring.
Amen. Definitely. CJ Black has what it takes to be a superstar. And he's proved it time and time again. And I think Jason Storm deep down knows that he can't beat CJ Black fair and square one-on-one. Maybe.
Well, you
Could
know
be.
what? We'll find out. If you want to follow ROEW, this is the ROEW link. And James, I know we're obviously getting toward the end of the show, but there is somebody that wants to come back on the stream, and it's not Anthony Steele. So it's not Anthony Steele. I promise you, it's not Anthony. So you can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. But I'm going to bring this person on the stream because they wanted to talk, and Zilla's back.
Hello, Zilla.
Zilla, you wanted to come back on the stream, and I got you back on here, Zilla. Zilla, how you doing, Zilla?
I'm doing good.
So you wanted back on. What do you want to talk about? You want ROEW? You want to address? What do you want to address right now?
I don't know.
Did you have
You
a
want it on
question
the
for
stream?
James Taylor by any chance?
What did he say?
Do you have a
It's
question for me at all?
I do.
well, we're live, Zilla. We're in prime
Uh,
time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and Rhino helped build. So have at it.
why don't you like natural selection?
Great question.
Well, if you actually observe and see why natural selection is a problem inside the wrestling community, especially ROEW, then you would understand why I and why the rest of the world does not like natural selection, because they're a menace in ROEW, and they're trying to run the show that I own because I am the owner of that, and they have no right to come out there and hold a man hostage for 5 months, have him taped and torn up like a dog, and just disrespect him in the ring. That's very disrespectful and is very mean for guys like Jason Storm, Holden Holloway, and Alex Cross to do what they do. And you see, if you're out there in the real world and you're speeding, you get pulled over, get a speeding ticket.
Mm.
You throw like a hamburger sack out the window, you get a ticket for loitering, not loitering, but for littering and all that. You can imagine that I'm the law for ROEW, and Jason Storm and Alex Cross is breaking the law, and I'm about to write them a fine that they're not going to be able to cash out of, because I'm going to punish them. They deserve to be punished. And I think CJ Black is that guy in line that wants to take care of business. And I think the rest is history from there.
But
I'm
what if
sorry. I get that you like them, Zilla, and I respect that and appreciate that. I love the fact that you're a fan of ROEW, and we love your support.
yes, we love
But
Zilla.
I think I can't control what you do. You're gonna like who you like, and that's all fine. But you're on the wrong side. It's kind of like the dark side and being a Jedi, right? If you're a Star Wars fan, you want to be on the light. You want to follow the light. Get away from the dark side, because it's just bad news for everybody.
But James, what though if CJ doesn't want to wrestle Jason Storm? Then what happens? Who is there in ROEW to stop natural selection?
Well, I mean, don't worry. I mean, think about guys like C Money. Thinking
Good
about
name.
guys like maybe JX. Think about, I mean, we haven't seen him since he lost the title, but Big Man Cam. I mean, who's to say that he ain't lurking around? I mean, anybody could step through that curtain and go after natural
Okay.
selection and
All right.
take them out.
Fair play. I'll give you that much. And Omen wanted to say that natural selection just sounds like they're trying to accomplish what the House of Wolves are trying to accomplish in the IMF from the underground. That's a good. It's a fair point. I don't know. I mean, that's up to both groups. I wouldn't know enough. Soldier wanted to say she wants to address how I'm better than her crush Jack Delta. I think what Soldier meant to say is that how he crushed Jack Delta, but I'm not going there because we want to leave that at that. And
Soldier, I think Zilla knows that James Taylor's got a hell of a better stunner than you. So there it is.
now Omen would like to ask though, do you think that Omen's evil? Do you think that he's wrong for what he did and he simply got sick and tired of the usual Soldier GP Justin Parsley atmosphere? And when it was all said and done there, I mean, do you think that Omen's evil or what do you think?
I kind of look at Omen Black and the House of Wolves kind of like a movie that I watched back in 2003. I was 19 years old. Let me give you a really good demonstration of what this is, or an idea of what it is. Have you ever heard of a movie by New Line Cinema called Freddy versus Jason? Well,
Yes, I
Freddy
did.
versus Jason was one of the biggest events
Was
of all
Kelly
time.
Rowland in that? Was Kelly Rowland in that?
I don't know. I think so. I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
But here's the cool thing about it. Inside that theater was jam packed. Okay,
I didn't
back in
see it. I was a
2003.
little too scary for me. I was a little too scary for me.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an atmosphere. Hopefully, Omen can understand this and the rest
Oh,
of the
he
world.
will. Oh, he'll love it. I'm sure.
So, Freddy versus Jason. I'm a big time Freddy fan. Everybody in that theater was rooting for Jason Voorhees. I like Jason Voorhees. Don't get me wrong. but I was the only guy that actually appreciated, respected, and was rooting for Freddy Krueger the entire time. And I kind of seen that as the similarity with Omen Black and the House of Wolves because I really don't like Soldier GP. I really don't like Justin Parsley. I really don't like the Foundation. No disrespect, but at the same time, like I said earlier, sorry, not sorry. I actually respect what Omen Black did. And if anything, I
I
was
do
that
too.
guy in the audience while they were booing. I was actually the only guy that was actually rooting for Omen Black. So
Wow,
I
you were
applaud.
rooting for Omen Black. You were
I
rooting for
applaud
him.
applaud Omen Black for what he did, and I look forward to seeing him tear the head off of the Foundation. And there it is.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I think that's honest. And, it's funny you said that because objectively speaking, when we had Omen and Mephisto on, we had them on a couple times on Sportswire that week. I think that the crowd here on this platform, at least, obviously, I know it was different in Palo. They were like 80-20 Omen. It was an
Yeah.
80-20 pro Omen.
Love him
It's
or
just
hate him, you can't deny what he can do in that ring and what he brings to the table.
people could say it's his platform, but the chat made their mind up. This chat makes their mind up in ways that they wanted. And there are people out there that look at it like maybe it's Omen's time to have another shot. Maybe it's his time and he was right about things. I don't know. I mean, he talked a lot about nepotism. He talked about how things were unfair in the Foundation. Joby was getting shot after shot, didn't deserve it, dirty. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. You were in that locker room. You saw things firsthand, and that's how it went down.
That's exactly how it went down.
Justin wanted to say Soldier crushed, Zilla's crushed. I'm sorry, but the whole monitor of Sportswire Radio certainly had a great crush on words. This is why he's the hall monitor. I mean, you can say what you want, but this is the hall monitor.
He's the Ned Flanders of this community.
No, I think he's a David Spade because that's a David Spade-like line here. Crushed, Zilla's crushed. I'm surprised he didn't put it like an orange crush of a drink. And here he goes even further. This individual. I mean, I tenderized Jack Delicate, and then Soldier ran him through. Stop.
Wow.
Mm.
Well.
And
Oh,
said,
well.
makes sense why Taylor stood by on that stage.
Yeah.
It was mentioned. I think Soldier did mention you didn't come. I think he did. Soldier probably.
Yeah, when they came up and offered Soldier the chair and said he needs help, he just ran, and I just sat there and watched the brutality happen right in front of me, and I mean, there it is. So,
Well, I want to talk with you about one more thing before we sign off. It's actually important, but I do want to ask you this. If Anthony wasn't in the House of Wolves, could you see yourself as a House of Wolves member?
I'm not a follower. No offense to him. As much as I might respect them and appreciate what they did, I don't really think it would work out because James Taylor's not a follower. I'm a leader, and that might be a problem. So, as far as like, being admin, whatever, they could do what they want to do, but James Taylor and the House of Wolves, no, that wouldn't work. Now with them choosing Anthony Steele, I think that was that's probably going to be a problem because he burns his bridges everywhere he goes.
Well, what do you think
Anthony
Anthony's going to last in the IMF? Everyone, that's the big question.
Anthony might last in the IMF for a while, yeah. But as far as the part of the House of Wolves, he's going to be like Randy Orton, jumping factions left and right and tag team partners like a prostitute in church.
Well, thank God that doesn't happen in church because I was thinking about actually a couple of churches I walked by today, and it was kind of I felt a little bit sad for the churches. I don't know why. It was just one of those days. So let's hope that doesn't happen in church. But
Right.
I guess, one way you could handle business in ROEW is Omen's been in ROEW in the past, and he has unfinished business with Jason Storm.
The Omen Black now, the leader of the House of Wolves, I wouldn't mind seeing him get in the ring with the leader of Natural Selection, Jason Storm, because, I mean, there's my trump card right there. There's my ace that could happen. I mean,
they have unfinished
Big
business
Man
from the
Cam.
summer. A lot of
guys like
business.
C Money. hey, maybe Jack Delta might recover and come back. But you also got guys like Omen Black that could step right through that curtain in ROEW and tear the head off of Jason Storm. So
Well, we're going to get to that. I'll get to a couple more comments, and I do want to ask you something else before we end the show tonight. But I do want to give a plug to, speaking of somebody in ROEW, he is almost there to 1,000 subscribers. Please support our dear friend Darkron. He is just what a wonderful man. I hope
Yep.
Darkron is listening to this, and I keep telling it on every stream, don't change. It's guys like him, Jovi, Joe Star from NEW. If they change, then I'm retiring. But go follow Darkron. He put up a recent video up. We love Darkron, and ROEW loves Darkron, and we're so happy
Yes,
that he's, I
definitely.
think, gonna maybe come back to the ring. So it's a big maybe, and he's getting closer, but he's
We've
almost
been
at
we've
1,000.
we've definitely been in talks about his return, and I can't
Good.
wait to see his return. I hope that all of you can't wait to see his return because when he comes back to ROEW, all hell is going to break loose.
Oh, and I can't wait. You know what time it is when Darkron's back. Go follow Dark. He's really only 20 subs away from 1,000. So please tell someone if you have already subbed to Darkron's page to get him to 1,000. Omen wanted to say we went to the same church.
I guess so.
Well, maybe. My daughter, my favorite daughter of Indiana, asked for me to help. I'm gonna help say what you want. But Steele was in that ring. You could have got your hands on him, but you got scared twice that night.
Okay. I mean, if that's what he really believes, he's obviously from the north. Oh, I'm sorry. He's from the Midwest, and the Midwestern boys clearly don't understand what they see when something's right in front of them. And James Taylor ain't scared. I ain't scared of no man. I ain't scared of no bean. I ain't scared of no monsters, and I'm definitely not scared of a real deal. So I can assure you that.
The real meal, as some people called him. This is why I chose to bring Felix instead of James when you asked me, Soldier. Ah, okay. Well, good answer. Good answer. I do realize we're coming toward the end of the show, and I do have to ask you something. We were talking about this off the air, and it's kind of an important topic in the world, actually, and it impacts
Yep.
you a little bit. And you wanted to talk about the TikTok man that potentially coming here. Right now, the Supreme Court is obviously deliberating on what to do with it. Congress and President Biden had signed a law basically banning TikTok here in America, and it's supposed to take place, as a matter of fact, toward the end of this week here coming up, and that would impact a lot of people, and especially you, James Taylor. And
hmm
what would you think about it? And what do you want to say to the world out there and your thoughts on
So, breaking kayfabe a little bit, getting into the real stuff. But I mean, honestly, TikTok is a big source of income for me and my
it?
family, and like it is for a lot of people. There's what is it, 170 million Americans, something like that, that
Well,
use the
our friend, the
platform.
Tribal Cheese in the UK, just got
Yep.
monetized, but he's not impacted. But he just
But
got
yeah, he's not going to be impacted. No, just for the Americans that are. And I know a lot of people I've made friends with on there that have their livelihoods on the line because of this. And we're coming up, what, 7 more days? So about
yeah,
a week from
about a week.
today, it could be banned. I mean, there's like a 98.6% chance. I'm gonna do some Steiner math on you. 98.6% chance that it's going to get banned, and there's a 1.4% chance that it could, by a miracle, hang and stay for a while. One thing I have figured out that I've learned is that on the 19th, come hell or high water, even if it does get banned, if I still have the app on my phone, and this is for anybody that uses the platform, if you still have the app on your phone, you could still continue to use it. The only thing is you can only use it for so long because anytime that it's going to have an update, we will not be able to update it. So I
Yep.
can continue to use it, but I won't be able to really keep it up to date. And that's going to be the
It's
unfortunate
similar
thing.
to in 2020 there was an app, Getter, I think it was, and it was an app that people used if you were like big into politics, and it was an app that they banned. President Trump was using it at the time, and it was a way
Yeah.
to people would post different things. And look, if you're
I,
asking me, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, in my opinion, I think the reason that Congress and the government and everybody's wanting to ban this app really is because they're wanting to take our First Amendment right away. Freedom of speech is one of the biggest things I've always believed in, and a lot of people feel the same way, and they want to say it's about national security, blah blah blah. No, I heard the argument a couple of days ago that they were having when they were talking about it, and one of the guys said, I can't remember his name, but he was saying that they're more concerned of Americans arguing with each other and fighting and bullying each other. No, that's bullshit. You just don't like the
How
fact
about
that people are
Facebook?
learning.
Look at what people do on Facebook and the
Right.
bullying that goes on. I mean, look, that's just life. Unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
that's society. I think, yeah. I mean, are they using it because of China? I mean, yeah, you could say that, but WeChat's not being banned. People can use WeChat. WeChat's a big platform. Here in Brooklyn and in parts of Staten Island, there's a lot of people that use WeChat because we have a large Asian American population, and they connect with people in China or at other places to be able to connect. So I think that that's kind of a cop out. I mean, I do ultimately think that the app will stay. I don't think it'll stay on January 19th, but I do think that going back on what you said earlier, I think there'd be too much outcry. Unfortunately, politicians do things to only protect themselves, and
Yep.
I think it's a cop out. But I do think that
Bullshit.
after the night, well, that's why politicians they're called BSers.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I do think that the app will stay. I mean, but I can't guarantee it. I'm not in Congress, so I'm not the president of the United States. I could tell you about local. I could help you in that, but I can't help you at that level. But I think based on what I know and making a judgment, I think that the app will stay. But it'll be a blow for a lot of people, not just because of you, but I use TikTok. Like, TikTok's my best platform. TikTok, I get 800, 900, 700 plus views a pop on my TikTok. I gained a lot of new followers recently on TikTok. I mean, I do really well on TikTok. I enjoy the platform, but so it will be a loss for a lot of people, not just those that make money on it. So
Right.
I hope it
Exactly.
stays. I hope it stays. I'm like I said, I'm like you. I let people decide, but unfortunately, politicians sometimes. What I learned this in law, that unfortunately, when I took law, that politicians sometimes try to do things that are what might be seen as in the interest of them of others, but are really into the interest of themselves, and that's really what the TikTok ban is. We'll have to see. I agree with Ed. I hope it
The
stays.
The only thing that's going to be maybe a small little positive out of this for myself and for probably a lot of creators that really take it seriously, because I rely on this and I actually love what I do. I like making the Stone Cold content, but I like making any type of content, honestly. And it's not just about Stone Cold, it's the fact that I am a content creator. A lot of us are. Tom, you are, even though you do
Yes.
podcasts and stuff, you're creating, you're putting
No,
your clips
listen.
on
I
there.
mean, I'm on
You know?
Facebook. Listen, I'm a Facebook. I create content on
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram. I mean, there's people that listen to people tell me, I watch you on TikTok. I watch you on Facebook. I watch you on Instagram. I watch you on X. I mean, yes, we're happy people are tuned in right now, but there are people that don't watch all of these shows. There are people that might watch the clip. So I'm a believer in. I've always been a believer. Let the people
So I
decide.
think, yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be, instead of me splitting my creation time between YouTube and TikTok, if this is going to be a thing, then I can put all my 100% focus now into YouTube and probably apps like Instagram and work on building that. But I mean,
And
I've already
Dooley,
proven myself on YouTube.
and Dooley, and Dooley.
Yeah, and Dooley, there's him. He's got this new app, and I've got his phone number and email, so I know how to reach out to that and maybe get started on it. It could be something that could turn into something really, really great. Maybe every bad thing that could happen, there's always something better that could come along. And I really enjoyed TikTok. I love TikTok, of course,
Yeah, me
and
too.
but YouTube is also one of my loves as well.
Absolutely. No, listen, absolutely. And James, I'd call Ed this week, by the way.
I
He's
definitely
listening.
will. I
He
definitely
better
will.
call him. Yeah. And Chase Wakefield says Justin Parsley should shut up. Why
He
though?
should.
Why? No, but why?
Justin should shut up.
No. I'm defending Justin Parsley on this one here for a minute. It's his First Amendment right as a citizen, an American citizen, to comment. He's our home. He's our home monitor. And even Anthony Steele. I know Anthony said things tonight that were Anthony like, but it's his First Amendment right. I may not agree with everything, but it's his right, and we give people an opportunity here on Sportswire. And I think that Justin Parsley, going back on the TikTok ban that you said, it's his First Amendment right to talk and say what he wants. He's the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, so he's certainly able to talk about those things. And I do want to also make sure people tune in. You cannot miss Stud Bronson tomorrow night. He is here 9:00 Eastern time. He goes into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. He's going to be wrestling Savio Vega in a matter of days. I mean, if you aren't pumped up about this, I don't know what you could be not pumped up about. I mean, it's going to be one for the ages here. I really cannot wait for this one. It's going to be one for the ages. Stud Bronson is going to talk a ton about Savio Vega. This man's
Think about it.
wrestling
You
him.
want to watch it, guys. He's going to wrestle Savio Vega, who wrestled the Mark's idol, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's been in the ring with him. So this guy is going to share the same ring with this man. So I say go watch it.
Oh, and I can't wait. And also follow Thunder Mountain Wrestling here. And here it is. I mean, this is for the Super Vader Championship. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, we got the Urban Legend Championship here also. I mean, this is a match for the ages. I mean, I just can't wait. It's going to take place coming up here on January 25th. Boy, I wish I could go to Arizona, and this would be a lifetime meetup here. $20 only, VIP, to meet Savio Vega.
Match with Savio Vega, honestly.
Well, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to ask Stud Bronson tomorrow about it, but we get him here. And I mean, what a last couple of days. I mean, we get Rhino, we got James Taylor, we got Nathaniel Rage, and now we got Stud Bronson. I mean, just unbelievable that we got all these people onto Sportswire. I mean, I can't wait. Stud Bronson, World War Stud Bronson, a man I've known for a long time, and he's come up the ranks. He's wrestling Savio Vega. He's here on Sportswire. I mean, just unbelievable stuff, and I just can't wait. And we will close the show. I'll let Zilla say one more thing. We'll certainly say thank you to everybody. And I do want to say one more time, by the way, thank you so much to everybody who's tuned in already and seen Rhino. 55 likes on this post. Facebook, I got almost 200 likes alone on my post. 170 something likes. Facebook, I got 1,000 views on the clip. TikTok, I got 800 on one, 500 on another, and I think I got the most likes I ever got on TikTok in one of the likes. 50 something likes, 40 almost on the other one. YouTube, I got the most likes I ever got on a video. 44 likes. I got 200 plus views and counting. I mean, most views for a Sportswire stream in 3 months. People are fired up. Tonight's stream has got big numbers. We're almost there. Yesterday,
hit that like button, please.
Hit the like button tonight. Go out and tell your friends about Rhino. What a once in a lifetime. And Stud Bronson is here because of Rhino. He's here because of Rhino. He said, I saw you with Rhino. I want to come back onto Sportswire. What an honor that was. A lot of people have reached out and said, I want to come back to Sportswire. Pro wrestlers, everybody alike, and I can't thank everybody enough for that. It's a monumental achievement to have Rhino here and Stud Bronson tomorrow and James Taylor in between, and Anthony Steele is here, and Zillow is here, and let's close.
Question. I want to know, Mr. Tom, Miss Zilla, and everybody else watching. I'd like to know what you think. Will you go to my Instagram, please, Tom, and for humorous for 1 quick minute and look at my most recent post for a certain Mr. Parsley? I just wanted to get the take on.
Oh, yes, I'll do that. I'll certainly do that. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll certainly do that.
I think this is a piece of art that everybody should watch and everybody should enjoy because it was so fun doing this. Knocked his ass out.
Well,
and there.
But who won the match?
Doesn't matter. I laid the law down and turned his lights out. 1, 2, 3. It would have been if Anthony didn't get in there and do what he did.
Justin said change the channel.
How you like that, Justin? You little
No, you know
bastard.
what? Justin's back on Sportswire this week, so I'm sure you'll see him. And Chase Wakefield's going to be talking about him. I still don't know what Chase Wakefield has against Justin Parsley. Admittedly, I still don't know what that is. And
If anybody could appreciate that stunner, it would be Chase Wakefield. I wonder what he thinks of that stunner.
I'm going to ask him Friday night. I'm going to ask
Yeah.
him. I'm going to
I
ask him.
appreciate it.
You know what? Yeah, that's enough times. Poor Justin Parsley here, by the way. Poor Justin Parsley.
I could
All right,
watch
so
that over and over.
Well, let's get to closing thoughts. By the way, Omen said he liked the stunner.
Appreciate that. Thank
He
you,
liked
Mr. Omen.
He liked
Thanks,
I
Jam.
appreciate that.
Boy, I'm just gonna say, watch everybody. Zilla, Justin's not happy with. Show it one more time. All right, because James is the. If it was Anthony on here, I would have said probably not, because we'll have like 50 more minutes of Anthony talk. But we'll show it one more time.
You gotta turn the sound up because you gotta hear that thud.
I thought Justin said no sound. Okay, can we do it now? Okay.
Hi, Stunner by James Taylor.
But wait a minute, though. That cell was amazing. Somebody said. Somebody gave him.
Pow! Turn his lights out.
This shouldn't feel like an unsafe space. No, that's the last place you worked in.
Or
Rhino
something
didn't
like
think it was unsafe, by the way, but that's okay. Sud Bronson didn't think so. We're good. I think I got the point. I already got the point. All right, you know what? We've had what an interesting show tonight on Sportswire. It kind of ran the gauntlet, but I think we got the point. You got to talk a lot tonight. Still, the chat was involved. Zilla was here. We ended on a positive, and I think that's what 2025 is going to be, the positives. And there was a lot of positives tonight. You got unfinished business in ROEW with Jason Storm. CJ Black, we'll see what happens. Anthony Steele was Anthony Steele. I think you and Justin Parsley may have unfinished business. You and Omen Black seem to agree on a lot of things these days. And Zilla was here, by the way. So let's get to closing thoughts. And Zilla, what do you want to say today? What else you got for us? Anything you want to say? Any final word?
The thing was, I kind of agree with James Taylor about Omen Black and stuff.
Yeah. Why do you agree with him so much? What is it that makes you agree?
Because there need to be changes in IMF.
Yeah.
And the change you think is Omen Black?
I don't know.
Well, he's the champion, right? Doesn't that make him the guy to make the change?
Yeah.
So then that would be the change, right? Omen Black and Ox McCoy and the Midwest Express and obviously Anthony Steele, which James really doesn't want me to bring up, but that would be the names, right? And, Jordan Netz and Jason Myers and Ox McCoy and Omen Black and Anthony Steele. They're the change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anything else you want to say, Zilla, before I turn it over to James before we say goodnight?
No.
Okay. And Ed loved the show, by the way. I think Ed. I really hope that you love this as much as we do. And we love Dooley, by the way. And please check out Dooley. And if anybody wants to connect with Ed, I will give Ed's number out. So if you're Omen, you're Justin, I'll send you his information. He might be the next Tony Khan, or
could be a great investment.
It could be. Well, hopefully.
Could be.
You don't know if I'm the champion we need. You don't know. Well, we're going to find out. But James Taylor, you do have the last word. I'm going to give you the floor. I got 240 people watching, so I appreciate that very much. People tuned in. Yeah, 240. A lot of them are on X because my friend Ernest Dove, who has like 80,000 followers like you on X, he shared the link. We love Ernest for that. He's
thank you.
He's a journalist who actually is on my radio station, and we thank that. But I'll pass the baton to you for some final thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say, and take it away, James Taylor.
Couple of things. Let's start with IMF. I think Omen Black is a good change for the way that the company's got to go, because let's just face it, and I know that he's watching, and I know that he probably wouldn't like to hear this, but I think Omen Black is the face of IMF, and Soldier GP can't stand it. Sorry, not sorry. Let's go ahead and now go to ROEW, and Jason Storm has got hell to pay, and that hell is coming. And like I said, everything that he's done and he's putting the company through and being a thorn in my side, Jason Storm, the hell you're putting everybody through is going to seem like kindergarten compared to the hell that I've got set up for you in 2025. So stay tuned to that, Buster. And now let's talk about TikTok. If you're following me on TikTok, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm crossing my fingers that they don't ban it, but if for any reason that they do, please, if you haven't, go check me out on YouTube at Taft Space Taylor. I'm working currently on a different niche and making a new channel. I've got the Taffy's Lounge. I'm doing that for all the music and whatnot. Then I got my Taft Taylor channel for my wrestling niche, but I'm going to make a specific channel where I just talk about other things. Stay tuned to that. I'll get more details as that comes. And I'm going to be making a special video on TikTok tomorrow to address the situation. So definitely watch that. If you can watch at least 5 seconds of it, it would mean the world to me. And hit that like button so that way TikTok can get the idea that we want to keep this platform. So hashtag save TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for tuning in and letting me grace y'all with my presence here on Mr. Tom Bryce's show, the #1 sports show.
I mean,
Tom,
I would
thank
like
you.
to think so. Rhino liked the intro. I mean, Rhino was happy about his time here. It was funny. I had a cousin of mine who I didn't even know watches me, said, "Oh, I'm really proud." It was almost like my family was like, "Oh, wow, you had Rhino." I had a guy in my neighborhood message me today. He's like, "Wow, I heard you speak with this wrestler. The guy must be, I don't think he's ever watched me before, but the word travels." I had somebody today in the street was like, "Oh, I seen you on YouTube." I appreciate that very much. So I
There
thank
you go.
everybody for tuning in. I thank obviously everybody that pushed for Rhino to come here. Stud Bronson, I think it's a great follow up. I thank the community here for their support. I thank my home communities for really supporting me, and I got great feedback. I'm sure Omen and Soldier could relate to that, and in their company with the support they have where they live. So it's a great thing. But if you're here, do me a favor, go sub to James's pages. Do that. If you want to sub to James's other page that he used to own, which I need to do a better job of promoting, but we are on there right now. So if you want to hit the sub button for the Promo Wrestling Federation, and that's always fun too, hit the sub button for us. And if you want to do that, check us out. And we're live there all the time. And I'm here 9 o'clock tomorrow night with Stud Bronson, and I hope you tune in for that. And I'll be here Thursday with the whole IMF slate. I'm sure James will be lurking. I'm sure he'll be lurking. And Friday night, Chase Wakefield, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, which I'm sure is going to be linked to all these comments here tonight. And thank you, Ed, for that. And I'll pass out
Appreciate it,
that
Ed.
number there. And Zilla, thank you for joining us tonight, and a live one as usual. And can't wait to see what the next one brings.
Amen. There you go.
All right. Well, that was that. You had James Taylor, ROEW owner, multiple time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, former owner of the Promo Wrestling Federation until yours truly ran it into the ground. Actually, no. Instagram, we're doing pretty well on Instagram, by the way. We have almost like 270 followers. So Instagram, we've done well. And James, of course, returned to the ring earlier last year at the end of the year with the IMF's Winter Class show. And we were also joined by Anthony Steele, who was Anthony being Anthony. And Zilla, of course, our resident superfan Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. And Ed, definitely see you tomorrow. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And if you're on Sportswire Radio, I'll see you at 9 o'clock Eastern time with Stud Bronson. Have a great night and good morning, good afternoon, good evening.